The following is brought to you by the People's National Party.
When the ships pull away,
let the trumpets play. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champion, we can do it together. When we look at the future of precipice, we see Jamaica needs the vision of the PNP. People said the bag of promises, them can't carry go shop. And the crime rate getting high, I wonder when it all goes stop, comrades. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champion.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party.
All right.
Bring us up. Hello, welcome. Happy Tuesday to everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate everyone's continued support. Tonight's topic is Judgment on the Poor with your host, Mystic Sensation, which is Anne-Marie and Baron, and we have Melting Pot in the building, and we should be joined later on by Head Boy. Unfortunately, Mr. Rattigan is not going to be with us tonight. Remember, guys, when you come in, thumbs up the live, share us out if you can, and if you're new to the channel, please show us some support by subscribing, and please continue to keep those on the western end of the island in your prayers, and also everyone in Jamaica on a whole with this new tax increase. We just have to keep praying for each and everyone, and hope for the best. Anyways, let me just go ahead and welcome those in the chat. It's a bit far gone, so I'm going to do an umbrella welcome to everyone. Thank you again so much for tuning in. Special shout out to all our channel members and also to all our moderators. Bless up each and everyone. Without any delay, I am going to hand over to Baron. And YouTube is having some issues, guys, especially trying to get on the television. It is saying that there's an error, and that's all they know. So I guess they're working on it, but there are some issues with YouTube tonight.
All right. Thank you, honey. Well, whatever issues there are with YouTube tonight, right? We know that we will prevail through the night, because tonight we are going to definitely uncover a lot. But before we do that, let us, of course, bring none other than Melting Pot to meet and greet his wonderful sisters and brothers. Melting Pot.
Blessing, Sir Byron. Blessing, Lady Anne-Marie. Blessing everyone in the chat.
Yeah. Give me some volume, Melting Pot. Some volume.
Sounding better?
Yes.
Yeah. So as usual, enough love and blessing to everyone tuning in tonight to this Sensation Live. We have a lot of things that intrigue and interest viewers here. So, it's just a shamble, and we have to come and unpack it and wrap it, whatever narrative, but it's gonna be interesting. So I just want you to ask it, show with the coffee and confidentiality. All right, around. You understand? And to my lovely people down in Ground Zero, love and blessing as usual from Healthy Blood. And to everyone, blood and fire comrade, right across the length and breadth of Jamaica. Same way, enough love and blessing from the back. I am back to us.
Your volume is still low, Melting Pot. Maybe bring your mic up a little bit more, or I'm not sure what's happening there.
Yeah, Melting Pot, your volume is still low. So have that sorted out, because we need that powerful voice tonight. And as we said,
sounding better now.
Yes.
Sounding better now.
Yes, they're right there. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So, Brother Ratigan obviously is not here tonight because he has some court issue to deal with as it relates to you know pursuing a lawsuit against persons who defame his character. So today, right, should be a court hearing. So he will be he has attended that. So as a result, he's not here tonight. He will be next week, right? But we hope to be joined by Head Boy later. All right. Now, Jamaica, let me say this, and I'm giving a warning, right, to Nationwide and Nationwide host, right? Let me say this, Jamaica, loud and clear, that nothing what Nationwide, right, does can, have us distracted from the real situation. And we are going to address some serious issues of corruption as it relates to St. Thomas Urban Development Center. And they are trying to hide it. They are trying to shifting fault, right? But we are going to reveal tonight the real facts behind the Urban Development Center. But before I get into that, there is an urgent development that just happened as it relates to a major drug bust. So let me just quickly feature. I cannot speak much on it because this is just developing and investigation is on its way. It's proceeding. So let me just play a little clip of that for the people to see it. Here it is. So take that away. So that is something, of course, is quite interesting. We will learn more, right, on that as, when investigation thoroughly done. So what is happening now, ongoing investigation, it's a huge drug bust at the FedEx. So that is what I want to update. Now, Jamaica, I am going to shape a background for you. And of course, as always, I am going to provide solid evidence as it relates to what is happening with the St. Thomas Urban Development Center, right? Now, the investigation and background are facts. But let me say this. Andrew Holness' kleptocratic government, along with PSOJ, stealing from the people's treasury via crony capitalism. What are they doing? Awarding multi-billion dollars contract via faulty procurement. I want people to listen to me. Using direct and emergency contracts. They will complete a minor part of the project, but the bulk of the monies awarded for these projects converted to their personal benefits, thus turning these projects into white elephants. Later on in the show, I will show you, Jamaica, 3 projects that have striking similarities where billions of dollars are not going to be accounted for. These monies stolen by Andrew Holness administration and aid and abet by PSOJ. We are going to provide the facts tonight where that is concerned. Now, what I want to show Jamaica, right, that you have seen Big Mama came out, right? We have seen Jaws Davis came out, and giving their reasons as to why the St. Thomas Urban Development Center has not been completed. And they are not speaking the truth. What is going on in Jamaica here, I'm going to show you. They want to blame that, okay, all right, JPS and, you know, water issue and so forth and so forth. None of that. Those are just distractions. Let me tell you, Jamaica, those are just distractions. The truth that they don't want to speak on is that billions of dollars being rubbed up at the St. Thomas Urban Development Center, and as such, they are having problem in completing the project, and it appears as if it is going to turn a white elephant. Listen to me, Jamaican people. The very same behavior that they had done with Cornwall Regional Hospital, it's the very, very same behavior that they had done at the Urban Development Center by awarding crony capitalism, awarding their friends contract through direct procurement, faulty procurement, and where billions of dollars being missing. What Jamaica do not aware of, the Auditor General, let me say this to Cliff Hughes, the Auditor General is running a forensic investigation as it relates to the Urban Development Corporation and in extension, right, St. Thomas Urban Center. Now, let me show Jamaica something as it relates to how the government, right, funded this entity, St. Thomas Urban Development Center, and then giving their friends, right, contracts and wipe out billions of dollars. Look at this. What we are going to prove is going to prove as it relates to the government involvement in this project. Without any delay, let us go to the St. Thomas business owner excited about Morant Bay Urban Center. What been going on here is high level of criminality that we are going to expose tonight, Jamaica. Don't be fooled that, okay, this is a situation where, all right, they just, you know, hurry up, do a portion, right, to sell as PR for general election. That is what Big Mama want to mislead. We are going to show the truth about this situation, what is happening here, right, where that is concerned. So, the St. Thomas, let us show, right, that this, as it relates to taxpayers' monies, been pilfered. Now, St. Thomas business owners excited about Morant Bay Urban Center, May 27, 2025. There they are, right? Andrew Holness and his kleptocratic government. Now, full story. Business owners in St. Thomas who will operate in the Morant Bay Urban Center are excited about potential of the massive development in driving economic and social transformation in the parish. Set on 436,000 square feet of land, the facility will house a plethora of public and private sector entities in one space, offering a one-stop shop for residents and businesses. The more than $6 billion investment by the government through the Factories Corporation of Jamaica will provide a major economic boost for the parish and create jobs for thousands. Right? So that is telling you that the government, right, as it relates to the $6 billion, right, is a part of also, right, because taxpayers have to pay back this loan. They had serviced this loan from the local market, so taxpayers has to pay back that. Now, it is the first of its kind to be built in Jamaica and serve as a method of similar project as government extends development beyond the corporate area and into the major township across the island. Chief Social Innovator at Next Steps Consulting, Tishana Mullins, who received the keys to her new offices on the property during the recent ribbon cutting ceremony, right? This is a trick. Said the occasion is a reckoning. And as I tell you what they are doing, Andrew Holness administration is doing as it relates to funding $1 billion project. But the strategy is to complete a minute part of that project, selling that to the public as if, okay, yes, they are getting on with the project and they are doing everything that is right, while simultaneously what they are doing, they are robbing billions of dollars to their personal coffers. The social entrepreneur and St. Thomas native who spoke to JS News expressed gratitude for the development while rejecting the infamous forgotten parish moniker. St. Thomas has never been forgotten, not by its people, ancestors, or purpose. We may have been overlooked and we were also underinvested, but never forgotten. We kept building, we were dreaming, and we were working, and this is where infrastructure meets intention, and we are grateful, Mrs. Mullins said. She expressed delight at the fact that she's bringing her business into a space that is going to bring mentorship, co-working, and multi-million-dollar grants. Well, you're not going to see that manifest. Andrew Holness administration, along with PSOJ, had robbed billions of dollars from this project. I am going to reveal to the people. Mallory Fid and Fid Furniture and Appliances, as well as well-known establishment in St. Thomas for decades, also spoke highly of being among the entrepreneurs in the parish who will set up shop at the urban center. And you see all those promises, right? It cannot be open, people, because of billions of dollars Andrew Holness and his administration, along with the PSOJ, aiding and abetting Andrew Holness administration to rob billions of dollars from the urban center. The very same behavior executed at the Cornwall Regional Hospital, where billions of dollars being robbed, billions of dollars through faulty procurement. You are going to see on the next document that I'm going to point out, right? Now, let us do this. Other clients who will occupy space at the Morant Bay Urban Center, including Kentucky Fried Chicken. So ensure that when you set up Kentucky, you understand the minute of the project, you understand tricking people. Trick people while billions of dollars being robbed. The Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency, Juicy Patties, the National Housing Trust, Jamaica Information Service, Department of Correctional Service, Devon House, Express Fitness, Ribs Ultra Lounge, Sterling Bakery, and many others. Andrew Holness, you're a very, very, very vicious and evil person. Phase 2 of the project will see the building of 2 additional blocks, a medical complex, and additional space to facilitate other government agencies. Morant Bay Urban Center project stem from a partnership, people, listen, between the FCJ, which is a government entity, check, and the National Commercial Bang, take that away, honey. Let me show the people what is going on. Let me show Jamaica what is going on with the urban center. So, Big Mama, you can't spin this. Jazz Davis, you can't spin this. What is going on at the urban center, really and truly, that is going to have difficulty in complete billions of dollars being robbed. Billions of dollars. Now, let us show Jamaican people that the Auditor General has interest in probing forensic audit, right? Lift up the document, let us show the people of Jamaica what is going on. This is what is going on as it relates to Andrew Onless kleptocratic government, right? What Andrew Onless government does and continue to do, right, is involving billion-dollar project, but using faulty procurement process like direct procurement processes, where they awarded their friends the contract, and emergency procurement, right? Billions of dollars unaccounted for being robbed by Andrew Onless administration. Now, let us show this. We have nothing to hide. Information roadblock towards Auditor General's UDC probe. My Jamaican people, let me talk to you. The Auditor General is pursuing investigation and they are blocking the Auditor General from investigating. Documentation as it relates to invoices, purchase order that the Auditor General is requesting, they are blocking the Auditor General from getting the information. They want to thwart the Auditor General's probe. They want to slow down the Auditor General because the Auditor General is on them. I want people to understand. So, Big Mama, you can't spin this and make it want to look like, say, okay, all right. You know, Andrew Onless try to, you know, open this urban center, right? And he was misled, right, in terms of that and so forth and so forth. And you try to, you know, switch it off to the fact that, okay, all right, JPS and, you know, no light and no water. There is no light and water can go in that building because it is not finished. Billions of dollars being robbed and the project is on a standstill. You don't want the Jamaican people to know that, so this is why I am coming out now to expose you. So what you're doing, Big Mama, you can't cover up this and we are on the internet. There's no way you can cover up this. There's no way you and Judge Davis can cover up this. What you need to talk about the Auditor General probe into UDC and in extension, St. Thomas Urban Development, where $6 billion from 2018. What Jamaican people need to understand, from 2018, Andrew Onless take on the Urban Development Center in St. Thomas, right? And it has not yet finished. Billions of dollars put into it and billions of dollars missing. Just like Cornwall Regional Hospital, billions of dollars poking into it and billions of dollars missing. Yes, and we are your friend in charge of UDC, right? The nepotism, the cronyism, the crony capitalism. Tonight, Jamaican people, I want you to wake up, right? What Big Mama is talking about is a diversion. Big Mama need to talk about the Auditor General, right? Probe into what is going on, the tea-free, the billions of dollars that now want to turn the St. Thomas Urban Development Center into a white elephant. My people, look at this. Here it is. We have nothing to hide. Information roadblock towards Auditor General's UDC probe. Come on, people. We could get in it. Right? Published Tuesday, October 2020. Now, the Urban Development Corporation, UDC, has declared that it has nothing to hide, or have everything to hide, after the Auditor General's department halted an audit because of problems getting information. They don't want to hand over, right, certain information to the Auditor General. Andrew Holness, right, is blocking it. Andrew Holness is stopping it. Right? And when you see, this is one of the reasons why Andrew Holness run and put these things in his office to take control, manipulate, and steal. And then block investigation into these things. Here it is. I'm not lying. Showing you the evidence. The Urban Development Corporation has declared that it has nothing to hide after the Auditor General's department halted an audit because of problems getting information. The UDC, the country's main urban and rural development agency, which manages billions in state assets, falls under the Andrew Holness run Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. So this is what Andrew Holness had done, right? To manipulate these areas, including land theft, including all sort of wrongdoing that Andrew Holness administration is doing. Now, let us get into it. That's why we are exposing them tonight, people. The audit report has been suspended due to outstanding information from UDC. Andrew Holness, right, is telling, right, the gentleman who in charge of UDC, that is now in his office, right, not to release certain information. Let us read it over. The audit report has been suspended due to outstanding information from UDC related to audit financial statement. Want to hear that, people? Annual reports, valuation reports, as well as the transfer of lands to the Jamaica North-South Highway Company, states at a July 6 post on the Auditor General's website. Under the Constitution, Pamela Monroe Ellis, headed department, is entitled to have access to all books, all records, returns and reports of all government bodies. The Auditor General explained that it was doing a performance audit to find out how many of its recommendations from 2012 report have been implemented and to examine how effectively UDC has managed its assets to ensure viability of the corporation. Now, look at this now, people. The information hurdle is mainly because of a tremendous backlog in the completion of annual report for the corporation itself, and some its subsidiaries stretching back to 2012, said the UDC chairman, Ransford Bryan. He told the Gleaner yesterday that the outstanding documents would be ready within 6 months. Many of them now have been updated and submitted to our parent ministry. We are not quite up to date as yet, but we have set up a special team to address them, Bryan said. Whatever the law requires us to do, no doubt we will do it, said the government senator, referring to laws including the Public Bodies Management and Accountability Act, which mandates the submission of annual reports and audited financial statement within 4 months of the end of the financial year on March 31st annually. We are not hiding anything, he said, admitting that on the face of it, it appears bad, but we are not as bad as it used to be. You are hiding the information. You don't want to be investigated. No, annual reports up to 2015 to 2016 for the UDC have been tabled in the House of Representatives, and details from the last report show the agencies with assets of $50 billion. Former opposition People's National Party Senator KD Knight, who was UDC chairman from April 2012 to March 2016, said up to his departure. So let us clarify as it relates to the People's National Party being updated and in accordance with the law. Let me read that over. Former opposition People's National Party Senator KD Knight, who was UDC chairman from April 2012 to March 2016, said up to his departure, annual reports were up to date. Let us put that aside, because we don't want to mix up PNP in our thieving business. We don't want to mix up PNP in our thieving business. 2016, from between 2012 to 2016, Portia Simpson period, everything was up to date. No anky-panky no one, because Portia Simpson administration are deal with anky-panky. So we set the record clear with that. Audrey Sewell, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation Ministry, said Holness was not aware of the issue and that she would be seeking an update on the situation. Andrew Holness well aware. Andrew Holness have this Ministry of Economic and Growth is in the Prime Minister's office. So the Prime Minister has to be aware. So you are just well, remember, we know where you are come from and know the things and where you know for Andrew Holness, as it relates to all of them things, the way you look left and make Andrew Holness a go on doing thing. And now Andrew Holness make you cabinet secretary involved, which responsible for all of the permanent secretary. So you know all the hanky-panky what are going on. You in bed with it, Now, cause for alarm. Two of the island's anti-corruption watchdog have expressed alarm at the development. We need to recall that in 2019, listen now, people, the UDC recorded $626 million in capital expenditure. Secrecy in the divestment process compounds the lack of oversight. You hear that, people? Continuing this hypocrisy means the public has no idea of the criteria determine who is getting what and on what basis, said Professor Trevor Monroe, Principal Director of National Integrity Action. Janet Carter, Executive Director of Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal, said the issue is disturbing. People, listen, the issue is disturbing, especially given the constitutional role of the Auditor General. The UDC board reports directly to the Prime Minister. You don't hear that, people? So the Prime Minister would have known everything, fully aware, placing the weight of this, his troubling lack of accountability, squarely on his shoulders. You don't hear that? The Auditor General make it clear to every single Jamaican that there's nothing can happen where Andrew Holness is not aware of. Here it is, open court. The UDC board reports directly to the Prime Minister, placing the weight of this, his troubling lack of accountability, squarely on his shoulders, she said. When the government-owned chief auditor is refused access to accounts and documents despite her constitutional right, there is a cause for alarm. Let me read back that over. Andrew Holness is blocking investigation. I told Jamaican people time and time that Andrew Holness need to step away. Andrew Holness need to step away and anticipate investigation. His statutory declaration cannot be certified. And him continue to be the Prime Minister. He served himself as an obstructionist doing all these things. Let me read that back over again, you know. I want Jamaican people to understand and know what is happening, you know. Here it is. The UDC board reports directly to the Prime Minister, placing the weight of this is troubling lack of accountability squarely on his shoulders. She said, when the government own chief auditor, look what is disturbing people. When the government's own chief auditor is refused access to accounts and documents despite her constitutional right to investigate these matters, there is a serious cause for concern, and it is alarming, Jamaican people. Now, among the UDC's major projects are the development of downtown Kingston and Port Royal and the establishment of a government campus at the National Hero Circle, where a new parliament building is to be located. Approximately 2.97 billion in revenues and a net profit of 265 million for fiscal year are noted in a 2020 to 2024 plan, which highlighted squatting and land divestment without strategic acquisition as threats. Now, in the 2012 report, the Auditor General highlighted a number of corporate governance failures, financial challenges, and internal control deficiencies that impair the UDC ability to manage effectively and efficiently the resources. Now, let us take this away on it. Now, where are we going now? Now, let me just quickly show Jamaica, the hanky-panky, what is going on and what Big Mama them trying to hide. Can't hide this. Now, let us go to listen nationwide. We are dig deep as it relates to St. Thomas Urban Development Center. Now, taking Charles Davis, what we are showing Jamaica, we are showing the pattern of Andrew Holness wrongdoing, right? As it relates to billions of contract, right, being given by his government through the process of crony capitalism via faulty procurement. This is how Andrew Holness administration is robbing taxpayers. Now let us listen to this.
The Morant Bay Urban Center, and why 9 months later there is not the commencement of full operations in terms of business activities. Now, 9 months after its official opening, the Morant Bay Urban Center in St. Thomas is not yet ready for business. The facility, being built at a cost of $6 billion, occupies about 360,000 square feet of space in the Eastern Parish. It was open to the public amid much fanfare in May 2025, but when our news center visited last Friday morning, only KFC was up and running. Shalois Michael reports.
The Morant Bay Urban Center was sold to the Jamaican public as a big deal. But the only big deal about what has happened since the Prime Minister cut the ribbon to open the facility amid glitz, fanfare, and expectation 217 days ago are the popular meal offerings sold by KFC. The commercial complex is managed by the Factories Corporation of Jamaica, FCJ. KFC apart, it was supposed to provide a home for the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation, the Parish Court, the Registrar General's Department, other fast food establishments, and BPO companies. Our news center observed construction work happening at various sections of the complex. Our interest in the state of affairs at the complex was piqued by an anonymous letter sent to our news center by a frustrated tenant. In the letter, the tenant complains to the FCJ about the absence of electricity at the complex and the massive dust nuisance. The tenant laments overall conditions, saying the state of their unit is not conducive to safe outfitting and the installation of fixtures. The tenant says Only a few other tenants are even attempting to build out the spaces assigned to them, asserting that they are all frustrated by the lack of readiness of the place for business. Nationwide News also understands that China Harbor Engineering Company Czech, the contractor on the project, wrote to the FCJ in January this year, saying they cannot commit to a date for the completion of works at the facility. According to Czech, the main problems confronting tenants at the complex have to deal with the absence of electricity from the JPS and water from the NWC. On the point of water, there is no running water at the facility for any tenant, not even KFC. In fact, sources at KFC who refused to speak on the record because they were not authorized to do so say the company has only been able to open because it gets 2 truckloads of water daily for each shift to meet operational needs. The water is provided by a supplier in Kingston and is stored in 3 water tanks the company has been compelled to install. Where electricity is concerned, KFC opened using a generator. The company eventually got the JPS to connect it to the power supply grid. The KFC sources did say they are in constant dialogue with officials at the FCJ, who they say are trying to assist with removing the obstacles to doing business. They say the FCJ picks up the tab for the daily trucking of water. When our team visited last Friday, we spoke with an official from FCJ who said the facility is designed to host 50 tenants. We observed intense work on one building, said to be the future home of Juicy Patties. When the Morant Bay Urban Center was opened in May last year, a group of about 14 business owners who were said to be among the first to occupy stores at the facility stood beside the Prime Minister on the podium holding a symbolic key. It's fair to say that none of them would have expected to still be waiting to move in and get down to business. Shaloy Smichael for Nationwide News.
We're focusing on the Morant Bay urban.
This is the situation as it relates to the viciousness of Andrew Holness administration. Right? I mean, the cruelty being done to the Jamaican people, abusing Jamaican people. Now, let me say this. One of the ways in terms of how Andrew Holness is damaging, right, our taxpayers, thieving from the treasury, is through the process of these big $1 billion contract. Big $1 billion contract. And as I said, as it relates to utilizing the process, the procurement process of direct contract and emergency contract, crony capitalism, this is how they are robbing billions from our treasury. Billions from our treasury. And thus is going to turn these entities into white elephant. Right? So what Andrew Holness had done now, coming up to the general election, yes, act as if, yeah, they are doing great, right? They are, dealing with infrastructures to, to develop the country. But in the meantime, right, the underlying situation, right, that is really serious is the level of robbery, thievery that they are doing. Now, watch this. Here it is that, of course, $6 billion being utilized right over the period 2018 until now, and we can't get a completion in that. Now, here is what Andrew Holness done. Hurry up, you understand? PR, the KFC, look at it. Hurry up and PR the KFC, right? Telling the people that, of course, Andrew Holness administration is doing something. We are giving the people urban center. Trick and lie to the Jamaican people while billions of dollars being robbed up. Look at this. Listen.
You need to go back. Yeah. So good. Thanks.
Alright guys, so welcome back to the Instagram Live. As we mentioned, we're here at the Morant Bay Urban Center in St. Thomas for the soft opening of KFC Jamaica. We're here with the chairman of FCJ, Taxation Corporation Jamaica, and the chairman for the Morant Bay Urban Center. Big deal here for the Urban Center, for Jamaica, for St. Thomas. Mr. Little and Shirley, talk to me about what we're doing here and why today is a big deal.
First, let me say it is an honor and pleasure to be here witnessing what you consider to be a big deal. In fact, in front of KFC is almost finger licking good. So today is a very special day. It's almost iconic as it relates to the Morant Bay Urban Center and the St. Thomas residents that they, after waiting so many years, is witnessing live and direct the opportunity to be here in such large numbers, enjoying one of Jamaica's finest fast food chain, KFC, and it's just amazing. It's hard to explain this type of feeling, that knowing very much that you conceptualize it, you've been part of the journey for so many years with my staff.
Stop money, take him away. That's the long.
Director, the support,
We are just showing the public.
and his guidance in this urban.
We are just showing the public how Andrew Wellness, right, administration involving $1 billion project, then the process in terms of just finish a minor portion, right, to sell to the public that he's doing, right, something. He's not doing anything. He's robbing billions of dollars, aided and abetting by PSOJ. Now, let me show you the very similar behavior in Cornwall Regional Hospital. And you're going to see that what they had done as it relates to the entire urban center in St. Thomas, and then they, hastily, right, just shape up the KFC, right, to sell that, to make it look like they are doing something. Look on the pattern that exists in Cornwall Regional Hospital. Without any delay, look at this. I'm going to have Nikisha Burchell speak on Cornwall Regional Hospital, and you're going to see that they do the same thing at Cornwall Regional Hospital. Right? The same thing at Cornwall Regional Hospital. And this is the MO in terms of what they are doing. Right? Listen, Jamaica.
Has become the most painful symbol. This hospital has become the most painful symbol of state failure. For $24 billion, we could have built a brand new hospital and expanded care across the region. Instead, what do we have to show? One administrative building and more excuses? Every week, I receive calls from constituents crying, some angry, who can't get basic treatment or timely care. The personal toll is really unbearable. This is not just unacceptable, it is unforgivable.
I was born at the Cornwall Regional Hospital, and it's a shame to see how dilapidated it is and cannot be completed after several years and 20 billion in spending. The people deserve better health care. They deserve to go to a hospital where they can find the right machinery, the right atmosphere, and can get better soon. Too many mishaps. Dr. Andre Horton, PNP caretaker for St. James West Central, the government must do better, and the people deserve more.
We're not just talking about blocks and steel. This is about survival.
All right, take it away on it.
People have died sitting on chairs waiting to be seen.
Right.
We are playing with their lives while the government plays with excuses.
All right, you're going to see how Christopher Tufton done the same thing like what Andrew Owens done at the St. Thomas Urban Center. I mean, sharply finish just one segment, the administration block. But really and truly, billions of dollars they had robbed. And that is one of the reasons why Cornwall Regional cannot be finished. It is the very same thing that they had done at the St. Thomas Urban Development Center. Look on the very similar behavior, my Jamaican people. Play the clip on it. Yes. Look on the very similar behavior. I want the people to follow me when we show the pattern of behavior and the criminality with Andrew Holness. You understand, as it relates to the billions of dollars, these big projects, where we just finish a little minute area, but really and truly rip the entity of billions of dollars. Now look at this, people. Let us play the next clip. Going down here. We are showing the pattern of behavior.
Despite what you would have heard about the US $150 million loan to JPS, here it is in action without it ramping up of the electricity grid and restoring electricity to the far corners of Jamaica, to those parishes that have been devastated by Hurricane Melissa, would not have been possible without that. And so I want to say again to the people of Jamaica, this is your government in action. We look forward to the complete restoration of electricity and to our economy moving again swiftly. Despite what you would have heard about the...
Now, your government in action, dealing with the restoration and with Jamaica people, look what happened. The billions of dollars that he had gotten, right, as it relates to hurricane relief, the tons of hurricane relief that he had gotten, right, minuscule of the persons who are affected, benefited. Let us play the next clip. I want to drive home the point tonight. Look at this.
After the passage of Hurricane Melissa, the truth is that the reality that many Jamaicans are facing is in stark contrast to some of the pronouncements from the government and the congratulatory tone in relation to the pace and significance of the recovery. There are people who have no access to basic amenities, potable water, electricity, public services. Many Jamaicans, Mr. President, are speaking in their own words and saying that they have not yet felt the arm of recovery extended to them from the state in a meaningful way. Several months after the passage of Hurricane Melissa, the truth is that the reality that many Jamaicans are facing is in stark contrast to some of the pronouncements from the government and the congratulatory tone in relation to the pace and significance of the recovery. There are people who have no access to basic amenities, potable water, electricity.
And what I want to show my Jamaican people, I want to show a contrast that is clear to show you that Andrew Holness administration, you understand, is damaging our economy. You understand, robbing billions of dollars from taxpayers. I am going to show you a project, right, that took 1 year and a budget, and to the fact that there is no government has to deal with procurement there, right? The project has been finished under 1 year, right? Look on the pinnacle in St. James. Let us play that. Look at this, Jamaican people. 1 year, the project start.
Real estate market in Western Jamaica is showing no signs of slowing down, with more than 65% of the units in the high-rise Pinnacle development already sold. When TVJ News visited the Seventh Heaven properties, a 2-bedroom apartment at the Pinnacle was listed at $537,240, while a 4-bedroom unit carried a price tag of $2,960,418. CEO Yang Seng Lee of Pinnacle Development says the strong sales reflect a growing investor confidence in Montego Bay's residential market. The multi-tower project is attracting both local and overseas investors, and the company expects all units to be sold by January of 2026.
The Pinnacle is showing our culture to the world, that our unique.
Okay, so I'm showing you all these evidence in a chronological sequence just to show you that Andrew Holness administration is a kleptocratic administration. Now look, let us go back, quickly, and then bring in Melting Pot. Now, watch this, people. The St. Thomas Urban Development Center, right, started in 2018. $6 billion being utilized there, and it has not been finished. Andrew Holness trying to PR his way out of that. The Auditor General, right, is now pursuing investigation as it relates to UDC. You understand? That automatically tie within that. Now, when you look on Cornwall Regional Hospital started from 2016, right, with a projected cost of $24 billion and not being completed, right, because billions of dollars unaccounted for. In the Auditor General findings, the Ministry of Healthcare, right, in the healthcare ministry, more than $800 billion unaccounted for. More than $800 billion unaccounted for. Now, what am I just showed you? Look at the Pinnacle, right? Doesn't have to deal with government, right? No government procurement on the Pinnacle. And look what happened to the Pinnacle. 1 year, Jamaica. 1 year. The Pinnacle is more technical, right, than the urban center. St. Thomas Urban Development Center. The Pinnacle is more technical than the Cornwall Regional Hospital. But yet, the Pinnacle, to the fact that there's no government involved, no government procurement has to be done with the Pinnacle. The Pinnacle completed in 1 year. As I said, the urban center started from 2018 until now, cannot finish. Andrew Holness ensure say him do one little area for sure. You understand, while billions of dollars being wrapped up. Cornwall Regional Hospital, the same thing. Andrew Holness and Tufton ensure them fix up one little area for sure, while billions of dollars being robbed. So you see the pattern is quite clear and plain. Let me bring in Melting Pot. Melting Pot, come into the light.
Yes, sir, Byron. You have shaped the landscape in such a way that my lawnmower gonna just run over it, because this is just plain raw born corruption. And I go and tell Jamaican people why the Prime Minister is always at the center of corruption as it relates to any form of construction going on in Jamaica that involves government procurement. It's simple because that's where he manifests and craft how to steal the taxpayers' money. If we look rightfully, as Sir Byron just pointed out, Cornwall Beryllium Hospital, from them coming in 2016, like them the plan and put that on them agenda, yeah, and use it as a white elephant to funnel taxpayers' money through it and steal it. And we know what happened to Cornwall very young. It started out from a projected $2 billion refurbishment program, yeah, to now standing at $24.5 billion, but still not completed after 10 years, basically. Now the same course of action went into this St. Thomas Urban Development Center. But there's something more diabolical wrong with this. Because when you look at the people them who is the face of this thing, FCJ, I go and tell my Jamaican people, yeah, FCJ, as them know it to be Factory Corporation of Jamaica, that represent the Jamaica Labour Party and the Jamaican government. They need to tell the people the true meaning of FCJ. I find that very fundamentally wrong, because that is the face of the government, FCJ. People might be thinking these are some private investors, with a group known as FCJ, business people from within Jamaica or wherever. No, it's a government face that. All right, check. China Harbour Engineer Company. That are part of them conglomerate, government conglomerate. We're going to help them with the project. And them use NCB to source the fund. So NCB would have replaced IMF, World Bank, or the International Development Bank. Because normally them go outside of Jamaica to get these vast funding to carry out projects. But because this is a mafia scheme, this is a mafia scheme. That's why them formulated from within Jamaica, using one of them cronies, yeah, Michael Lee Chin as the banker, yeah, and then changing the face of the government. It should be saying Jamaica government, not FCJ. Who formed Factory Corporation of Jamaica? Who is behind Factory Corporation of Jamaica? And so, this is why we're having problem where they're barring the Auditor General department from going in. And I mean people that have, the authority. You can imagine me have a gate pass to come to work and my gate pass up to date with my face on it. But you lock me out. Because the Auditor General was going in to do them work, and them lock them out. So this does show you when them come out and say them not have nothing to hide. Them have a lot to hide. Them have the whole of Andrew belly to hide. But when you have a prime minister who seem to be more in keeping with construction development all over the place, man, him wife, you're going to find them in a them predicament. Yeah. The prime minister, spend more time on construction site than in the prime minister office, You wonder why he's conducting his own business, yeah, stealing taxpayers' money through these type of projects, yeah, and using it to spiral over into his political campaign at the time. That's why I'm hastily go there in May 2025 for the ribbon ceremony, yeah, and handing out keys that can have no, means of help to the people right now. Because them can't go, what am I going to go do? Go sniff up the dust them on the ground? Go look up at the ceiling? Them done already yet. But it was a PR. And my Jamaican people, if we all remember, on the back of this PR ceremony, them went over to Portland with the same idea. We built one of the same center over Portland. And that was to ensure the galvanized momentum behind the political campaign at the time. But here it is now in full black and white. Them not ready yet. The water not dead and the light not dead. Most of the sign them come down back. On the KFC won't stand up. Yeah, but KFC operate under a dilapidated circumstance. Black tank, generator. Yeah. But we know we're going. We know we're going why it delay. Because the money been steal. Yeah. Them steal the money. So the project can't finish, Same thing happened to Beryllium Hospital. Them steal the money. Yeah. So this is why you see Andrew come out with this big heavy tax burden on the back of Melissa. Because Andrew already try to scrape some money and to finish them thing, you know. Because it's embarrassing for him watch. You understand? Very embarrassing. Because there was a lot of fanfare, you know, and people are praising about him as the man for development and all these things. Man, the builder and all these things. Nonsense. The man is a criminal. What developer and builder are you talking about? Developer and builder light on a pinnacle where Byron just show. This guy used, I've been telling Jamaican people a long time, you know. Cornwall Beryllium Hospital was used to funnel money through to steal it. Yeah? Because them know Jamaican people, 95% now no interest in our one in Jamaica really and truly. God them just carry the butter come rub on the people, them mouth and them hand and them pants, pocket and, you know, just nasty them up with corruption gift. And people buy into them, you know, nasty way of governing the country and them criminal idea for them want to govern the country and not focusing on the prize. People are take them eye off of the prize. Just draw the comparison to Pinnacle Development. It's more technical. It come from how much 100 meter down out of ground. In a ground it a come from. But yet still it can't finish on time and on budget. While a little hospital, yeah, from a 2 billion projected refurbishment loan, it now spiral to $24.5 billion, but still incompleted. Now the same thing over there, so $6 billion investment, yeah, but it can't finish. But there is more criminality surrounding this, yeah, because now we establish who is FCJ, yeah, we know them are the government, yeah, but when you look, Andrew put all the government agency from over St. Thomas in there and our charge rent. Me no know. Because I'm not state that clearly, you know. We will ask the question, but presumable that's in plan because of criminal work. Yeah, because why you hide it, say, Jamaica government investment? Why? It must be because you want to carry out some skullduggery. So you make it look like some private investor thing and the government are going to rent the place them from them and put the courthouse and the police station and the passport office over there. These government entities, yeah? And then we hear about the rent and how exorbitant the rent them add up to. And we have to tell them why the government would want to spend the amount of money upon rent every year. I remember these type of rent now, we hear said quoting a US dollar to, you know, people. That we are hearing now. I remember anytime you have the fluctuation in the interest rate in the country, the rent will go up, it now go stable. It's not like it's a contract rent, you know, where you buy a 5-year lease, you know. So you know, so you fix your rent on a 5-year term. No. So this nasty kleptocratic Labour government is robbing the taxpayers blind in front of them eye. And I like the fact that I have a real top-class investigator working alongside. When him dive, you know, him have to come up with real substance from down at the bottom of the pit of corruption. And that's how Andrew hide him thing, you know. And have a bunch of people working assiduously with him to hide the corruption. Jamaican people, we have to get serious with this guy. We have to get serious with this guy. Yeah? Because there is no way, if everything did in a checks and balance, they will shut out the Auditor General. No way. We know that. So the fact of the matter, that them shut out the Auditor General, it tell you, say, problem dead there. But it's one thing I like, the sheriff come and disclose the fact, say, you know, him as the UDC chairman between the period of 2012 to 2016, when him left everything intact, up to date, so him clear the year. So any problem where you see there UDC right now and with no problem there, you know, the Andrew Wellness administration. Yeah, because When KD Knight leave there, you know, UDC sit down for 50 billion, you know. 50 billion. Yeah. That them have, you know. I play with around them. I want to know how much they know. I want to know how much really they know. Yeah. So what did really attract the Auditor General? Some land. Yeah. Some land where them have, you know, where them are shipped to the north, south, development, people them. You understand? Them land that they draw the Auditor General attention to where go on. Because you see this government cannot be trusted. Yeah? Cannot be trusted. So when you have a government led by a guy who cannot be certified from the DM set put in a politics, Jamaica have real problem, mountain problem. Yeah, problem that right now, me I tell you, I don't know how much generation it will take to fix it, you know. Yeah? A several generation have to fix Jamaica problem. And who cause it? A criminal known as Andrew Holness. And him conglomerate them. You understand? Certain high member of parliament within his cabinet, they are criminals. I will know them. Tough tongue. Boom vase. Yeah? You know, said they are very large in terms of, you know, how the network spread. Yeah, we can't go through them because basically all the prime minister wife a criminal. You see she in a all era at Jamaica do development. And you ask where a woman gets so much money from to invest. And why them have so much interest in development, why not something else? It's beer, block, steel, sand, cement. Now when you see people do these things, you know, a dirty money, criminal money, them are tie up like that into solid. Yeah. Them change it from liquidity, you know, and turn it into solid. But it have value. You understand? So these are the type of, you know, avenue where you look through when you scrutinize individuals. Yeah, because you come in politics to serve the people as representative of the people. But be sure now the people see them for more building project. Yeah, than seeing them live, putting out some real bulletin from their office to the people. Remember, I know the Prime Minister, when all is said and done, you know, with Melissa, debacle that hit Jamaica. Yeah? You have never seen him put out a message from him office. No, upon the ground, you see him come out. You know this guy now no decent about him. Him don't even know if he operate him office. Yeah, him don't even look official. You understand? This guy just go all about and just suss out the place them and see where him can steal something from. Yeah, them have them idea. And them idea is filthy. And very scarny to the Jamaican taxpayers. Because the Jamaican taxpayers who are feeling the brunt. Yeah. This is why you see him come with the $35 billion increase in tax. This is why you see him increase the size of the budget to 1.4 trillion. But we not see nothing of value to the budget a year time, you know. The road them dilapidated, no water, no sidewalk, no basic amenity for the communities them. Everything just run down, but the budget keep rising. People need to ask themselves the question, no man. Because when you increase your budget, you know, everybody's supposed to see the work being done. But Andrew tried to catch up back. And there's another era where I have to look on this guy with. This is one of the reasons why Andrew Holness a whole and the whole heap of money from Melissa. Because Andrew want to fix the problem at Cornwall. And he want to fix the problem over St. Thomas Urban Development Center. I know for a fact, based on where we are looking through here right now, say, one of the reasons why him lethargic to spend the money. And when him even do commit a total, when him put on the table, 10 billion Jamaican dollar to fix back people house. Yeah, some want to know what kind of fixing him I go on with. Because we tell him to rebuild and build strong, you know. So that we don't have to run back to IMF. You understand? But it look like Andrew, I don't know, Andrew want to fix him problem. Yeah, from 2016. It started. Andrew coming to politics to rob. Because you can't take a guy at face value, you know. You have to listen to some of the things where him say. I remember this guy tell me, he said, when I'm 25 years old, I'm 47 million. Unbelievable. Never work. We get our wages in the charity, you know, them get a little allowance. Yeah, someone who has so much allowance charity give. Yeah. So that alone show you have Andrew, you know, and tell you who is this guy. This guy is a renowned criminal coming from nowhere, coming from the ghetto of Spanish Town. Yeah. The first ghetto prime minister we have a mash up ghetto community, you know. Mash up ghetto people life with criminality. Yeah, that's why we have to look upscale now when we are choose the prime minister. And we have to look upscale when we are choose the commissioner of police. And make sure we vet them properly. When we know Marky G well and truly vet. You understand? Because Andrew from the ghetto are the biggest criminal ever walk into. The prime minister office ever said put in a guard house, you know. This guy, you know. Where him should have look after the poor people. That's why I'm telling you, Andrew and the prime minister material. And him the surplus the requirement. And with all of these controversies surrounding these entities with the government involved in it show more and more so this guy a criminal. Right now I know between this Cornwall Regional Hospital, the high increase in the tax and the increase in the budget, I know 95% of Jamaica people not even want from him. So you know say him no surplus the requirement. People are run from this guy. This guy too criminal minded. Yeah. And try to go out with some underworld, undercover mafiaism. And when you drive long in it, be a corruption line it. Yeah. That's why I see him about just to well around him, you know. I protect him, you know. You see him use straight pipe and protect him for a long time. And you see him have some little idiot people. Like the guy with up a UDC Morgan, where I protect him. Yeah. So everything where Andrew do in family, that's tragedy. Yeah. Around it. To protect him and continue to wreak havoc with the taxpayers' money. Him live for National Housing Trust, yeah? Yet see them car them now gone up there. But him a red tap take rent from them, you know. I take rent from them too. So what him do, he make sure set up the thing and I put all the government entities in there, not telling the Jamaicans public at large, say that Jamaica government funded initiative. Yeah? And then I'm going to steal the rent now every month. So just look how much I'm going to make a fight now, man. That's why I'm a vested interest up there. That's why I'm going to 2 times go cut ribbon. Remember, I'm going up there the first time, you know. And they're on top of the building, you know. Which prime minister you see on top of the building? Extreme top. I don't know if I try to test out the height if it look like pinnacle. Must test out the height figure all the way up on the pinnacle. But that's not pinnacle, Andrew. That's a helical gimmicks plaza where you say are introduced to Jamaica. That's the shopping center. You understand? Yeah. So where we are look on now, this guy have a lot to answer. Yeah? And it's time this type of activity now get some real investigation. Because this guy not bigger than Jamaica, you know. He's not bigger than Jamaica for operate so long with a stigma type, you know, administration behind him. But the whole of them would know them are criminal. Nobody know them to say ease up on the taxpayers. No, everybody just say milk the taxpayers. It will pay for. Right now, I want to ask Andrew one question. Jamaica mash up with you. 4 months now. Yeah? Enough people out of job. Or you come in with this high tax threshold. Where are we for the people and take up them phone and call foreign, the diaspora? I mean, we like find way to milk the diaspora, you know. Guys like the diaspora are them soft like butterfly. Yeah? So as them call money come at Jamaica and keep the high interest flowing to your coffers. God it seems that's what you designed the program for. Because right now people not living in them proper home. Yeah? Them workplace still not up and running where them used to work. Them farm now produce nothing yet because they take battering from Hurricane Melissa. Yeah, them lose several livestock. Them life in ruins and tatters. But here is you come now with a $35 billion tax threshold where you expect to repay. But I know you not talk about one of the big boy like Big Mama who 1.5 billion. Yeah? But yeah, look for a $35 billion tax. When start collect from Big Mama and your friend them now. The rest of corporate entities will not pay nothing. Like yourself. Remember, you and your wife not pay nothing in a tax, you know. Because you have a mechanism where you use and get round the tax man. And then you drawing the tax man and you and him sit down at a banquet. And then you don't know who to pursue for tax. And who people to relax with them tax. So the whole system in Jamaica is that it called for a surgical repair. And all you have to do that, you have to move the whole of them criminals and put them behind bars. And bring some clean people now to represent the face of Jamaica. The entire Jamaica Labour Party are criminals. None so more than the Prime Minister and his wife. Yeah? And then behind them, PP, cluck, come tough tongue and come pumbas. Yeah? And the rest them still participate. So we have a serious problem in Jamaica. So I would like the Auditor General to ease up the pressure, continue to pursue your line of investigation. And wherever you find the finding, you just make it more publicly. And don't make no man come intimidate you know. You just work for the taxpayers, because taxpayers are paying, you know. And you not paying, you know. No wages come from the taxpayers. And the taxpayers is the real government of Jamaica. So it seems like the choice of people who we select to govern the country and disrespect the government. That's how I see. So I just want things to move, you know, in our direction now where Jamaica started a surgical repair. Move out them criminal prime minister, Speaker of the House, Minister of Health, the one for transport, move them out. Yeah? Move out the nasty thinking crab. Him sit down and collect taxpayers' money for years now and not do nothing. Can't show him pace overseas. Him can't learn a new technology from counterpart overseas. He can't come to Jamaica. Because them have him as a criminal. Yeah, but James Roberts we are criminal too. And several of them. So Jamaica people not see where I face, you know. That bunch of criminals don't have, you know. I deal with their affairs, you know. Then them must rob no man. If me put a bunch of criminals in my establishment, I one thing me ask why you know is trouble. Because I know them must rob me. Because monkey see, monkey saw, monkey will do. You understand? So I don't know how you can have these man well-established criminal still sitting down collecting millions in salary that's been paid to them by the taxpayer. And expect so now get anything. Now get not more than criminality affairs, criminal activity, corruption, high level. Yeah? Because when you have the guy them, you know, you have a system in place where you have pay people like the permanent secretary them, carry out them procurement guidelines. But then you bypass that and do direct contract. When you come with no farmer procurement guideline, it don't go through the system the way you create the system for. And you not use it. But yet still the people have to get them salary. But you bypass the people when you put them to preside in the space. Unbelievable. That just show the high level of criminal intent from the beginning. And they have manifested it so well that it has now become the norm. Nobody long they not deal with the procurement, but yet still we have permanent secretary. You have cabinet secretary. All criminal are just well. When him, Andrew Wallace, upgrade to that position, it tells us that the man is strategically protected by civil society who will sell the country to Andrew Wallace. I yield back the floor to you, Sir Lord Byron.
All right, blessing melting pot. Everything that you touch, you know, it is gospel. Let me say that. But we are going to go into the art of the wickedness with Andrew Wallace, showing no care to the Jamaican people. Now, even you have the technocrats coming out and going against, you understand, the so-called, raise, new tax burden that he applied on the Jamaican people. But Jamaican people, can you imagine Jamaican people as it relates to what we had gone through in terms of Hurricane Melissa, right? Just 4 months, October 28th was the passing of Hurricane Melissa. And you are going to tell me now that the government, right, getting certain assistance from the IMF, right? The CRIF, right? And the cap ban and so forth and so forth. Now, the government, right, has leeway in terms of ensuring that you fix the economy, strengthen the economy, right, where you could stimulate the construction industry utilizing NHT. But he decided that he's not going to do that. Is now to the fact that we are damaged. The government is saying that, okay, even though you are damaged, I am going to do you more evil. I am not going to stimulate the economy. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do, I am going to put you into container homes. And he's going to spend millions purchasing containers from China. Now tell me, Jamaica, isn't that Andrew Holness is supporting China economy? Isn't that, I'm just asking a question, isn't that Andrew Holness, by doing that, is supporting China economy? No, you could stimulate the construction industry, right? The Jamaica Master Builder Association warned Andrew Holness and said, no, all building entities, technocrats, warn him and beg him, said, look, care for the people, stimulate the economy. He said, no, because you know what? The corruption. It is so, all right. The new tax burden, it did not even consult with the business entity. You know? Now, let me show you something, people. And even the business entity, they are upset because Andrew Holness administration never have them in consultation. He just went ahead, you understand, and definitely punishing the people of Jamaica. Look at this, Jamaica. Let us show you the proof here. Look at this. Look at this.
President of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, Catherine Silvera, has joined the stakeholders reacting to the government's decision to implement a new tax on sweetened beverages. Under the new measure, a tax of 2 cents per milliliter will be applied to sweetened drinks. Speaking on Smile Jamaica Monday, Mrs. Silvera says she is surprised that there was no consultation with manufacturers and other stakeholders prior to the implementation of the tax.
Usually been collaboration and consultation. And so I think a lot of our manufacturers and ourselves at the JMEA are a little surprised that this time there wasn't any consultation. And so we do hope that, this is the beginning of the budget cycle. We do hope that starting now, we can have some level of consultation because there are still a lot more questions and answers. Does this mean that it's only on added sugar drinks, or is it on 100% natural juices or drinks that have sugar occurring naturally?
That while the association understands the importance of promoting healthier lifestyles, it is concerned about the potential economic impact.
The government needs to understand that consultation is what works best, especially when you have a sector that is utilizing Jamaica made and we're exporting as well. So for us, it is not just the SCT on the sugary beverages, but it's also the increase on the environmental levy. Because while the SCT on sugary beverages may not apply to export, it shouldn't apply to exports. The environmental levy does. So the increase in the environmental levy could also affect and hurt exporters as well.
Mrs. Silvera says the association is hopeful that there can be a balance.
To Andrew Holness level of victimization, dictatorship, bullyism, badman government, you understand, and pushing it down the throat of Jamaican. He has no care and no sympathy for Jamaican people. Now, look at this. And next, technocrats, right, is concerned. Listen to this.
Today, I don't usually talk about politics, and I just don't like it. But honestly, how can we even think, Minister? How can we even think about charging Jamaicans more taxes? Think about it. We're already a country suffering. People are broke. Don't look at the people driving the rich cars and living in the rich houses. That's a minor amount of the population. Minor. If we have 3 million people in Jamaica, I don't even think 20% is doing well. And the ones that are doing other things, they are not things that I would want to do. So how can you, after coming out of a Category 5 hurricane that devastated not just the West, but businesses across the island that depend on tourism and depend on the dollar and depend on services, I want to sit down and tax people? And your excuse is, Melissa, how much money did you give Jamaica Public Service Company? Do you think about that 150 million US when you're thinking about taxing Jamaican people? How much money did you receive from coffers all over the world and locals as well, in the billions? And where did that go? So why do we have to now be taxed for a hurricane? Think about it. Didn't your other minister put this in place not to have this happen to us and get an insurance of 150 million US to help us, which was given away to another company who don't give a crap about us? And you want to turn around and tell me that you're going to tax Jamaicans that already can't pay tax? We already can't pay the tax. Look on your tax burden for the country. Look at how many people owe tax. Don't look at all these fancy cars coming in and being bought, because most of them end up back on a lot. Have you checked out these repossession lots to see how many cars are come back on them? Have you looked at how many mortgages are being defaulted? Have you looked at how many businesses are struggling? Have you looked at how many banks are not receiving their payments, their credit card payments, their loan payments? So in times of when people are suffering, you came into an election saying you're not charging any more taxes, you're not giving us any more taxes. And you won the election on one of those promises. Now, you have to find other ways to get your money. And that would be a stimulus package, which we have not even gotten. In America, you just get a check in the mail. And that's a stimulus package for people that were hit by whatever it is, whether it's COVID or hurricane. I've not received a check in the mail. I've not received any stimulus. It is so hard. Make it easier to open a company. Make it easier to do exports. Make it easier for businesses to operate in the country. Stimulate the market by bringing in more businesses that can stimulate income. These hotels that are closed, work to get them open.
And this is what we are telling Jamaican people, right? What Andrew Wallace is doing in terms of the ton load of assistance that we have gotten. What Andrew Wallace administration is doing, people, believe you me, is hold on many of those resources. Because why? Areas like St. Thomas Urban Center, that billions of dollars being robbed up, right? You want to take, right, from what we have gotten as aid and try to sort out those situations. But guess what? Also, as it relates to Cornwall Regional Hospital, right? He want to try to fix the gap of his criminality that he had done in the previous administration. We are not going to allow him to do it. And you know why he's not going to get away with it? The People's National Party control the PAC and the PAAC committee. So they now have oversight on Andrew Holness' doings. And we would like, let me say this, to the PAC and the PAAC committee. We would like for you to do deep dive into the urban center, the St. Thomas Urban Center, as it relates to how much billions of dollars being missing, unaccounted for. That is what we want to know. And we want to do we want for the PAC or the PAC, right, to actually do some deep dive, you understand, along with the Auditor General. Right? We know that Cornwall Regional, right, is in the same predicament as it relates to St. Thomas Urban Center. So do some deep dive into Cornwall Regional Hospital, right, and into the Urban Development Center. Now, let me show you something in terms of a research, right, as it relates to the corruption, so people can understand what Andrew Holness is doing in terms of doing big project. Now, hoping that, honey, let us just read some of the Corruption Act. Now, this is what I want to pay attention to, my Jamaican people, and where you can understand the criminality, right, of what is taking place as it relates to Andrew Holness' kleptocratic government. Now, 9 reasons why corruption is a destroyer of human prosperity. Now, you can't overlook corruption as it relates to Andrew Holness, because it is going to damage our prosperity. It is going to suffocate our future. Right? It is as if we are going to be pushed back into slavery. And that is what Andrew Holness, as it relates to crony capitalism, is doing. Right? Is to depleting any form of opportunity that we have to strive and survive. Because as what the gentleman said in the previous clip, he knows very well that we are just coming out, not even 4 months solid. But yet, we are the people who are unable to pay tax. You are taxing them in such a way that you're broadening it. They can't escape as it relates to those basic food items. It is vicious that he expected the amount of tax that he put on sugary item. He expected, right, to get $4.2 billion from it by 2027. Right? And yet, as you know, what wifey said, he's not hurting the poor. He's coming out. I am not hurting the poor, and you do this to the poor. Right? And you can see the pattern with Andrew Holness. When the Integrity Commission investigators asking him, right, to explain his wealth, he just can't. He just can't, and yet he's a billionaire. He is a billionaire. Where did he get all his money? Andrew Holness is telling lie to Abka Fitz-Henley in an interview, saying that he came in with $47 million. And when you look at when Andrew Holness born, it simply means Andrew Holness would have been 25 years of age. He's not coming from a rich background. Right? Didn't have any job prior to venture into politics. The only thing that Andrew Holness had done, right, is work in a charity as it relates to Edward Seaga's charity for 2 years. And yet he's telling people that he came in with $47 million. Andrew Holness' father is not a billionaire. His parents His parents are not a billionaire. So where did he get that money from? Right? So let us go to the 9 reasons why corruption is a destroyer of human prosperity. Now, corruption hurts government revenue. Corruption undermines government revenue and therefore limits the ability of the government to invest in productivity enhancing areas. This is one of the reasons why we are not seeing the capital budget spend and road infrastructures, not spending it on bricks. See it right here. So corruption hurts government revenue. Corruption undermines government revenue and therefore limits the ability of the government to invest in productivity enhancing areas. We are not producing as much. We are not. We are importing more than how we are exporting. Where corruption is endemic, individuals will view paying taxes as a questionable business proposition. So you hear that? You hear it here now? Individuals will view paying taxes as a questionable business proposition. There is a delicate tension between the government in its role as tax collector and the business community and individual as taxpayers. The system works reasonably well when those who pay taxes feel that there is a good chance that they will see a future payoff. We are paying taxes, right? The taxi operators are paying taxes and at the same time they don't have a good road to drive on. We don't. So this is dangerous in terms of what Andrew Wallace is doing, and that is number one. Let us go to number two. It distracts from vital public investment projects. Corruption distorts the decision-making connected with public investment projects. Large capital projects provide tempting opportunities for corruption. Let us read back that over. Just like with large projects like the St. Thomas Urban Development Center, large projects like the Cornwall Regional Hospital, this is telling you, this is a research, solid research is telling you, you understand? It is an avenue for corruption. Listen. Corruption distorts the decision-making connected with public investment projects. Large capital projects provide tempting opportunities for corruption. Government will often undertake projects of a larger scope or complexity than warranted by the needs of the country. Want to hear that, people? Public investment will thus be higher. The world is littered with the skeletons of white elephants. Want to hear that, people? Just like what they have been doing with the urban St. Thomas Urban Center and with Cornwall Regional Hospital. Want to hear what this is saying? The world is littered with the skeletons of white elephants, often built with external credits and representing a heavy burden on manager and meager budgets. In the context of scarce resources, government will find it necessary to cut spending elsewhere, sometimes in social vital areas. Right? Now, the government promised that you would have created STEM schools. Got money for the STEM schools. Where are the STEM schools? More to the seat, you know. Right? Here it is. Government will find it necessary to cut spending elsewhere, sometimes in social vital areas. Where are the STEM schools, Andrew Wallace, that billions of dollars being allocated for? Where it is, Andrew Wallace and Jamaica not getting serious, are in operations and maintenance, plausibly argues that corruption will also reduce expenditure on health. See the people who come look here. Plausible argues that corruption will Also reduce expenditure on health and education, because these are areas where it may be more difficult to collect bribes. Now, people can't make up this. Now, look at this now. Corruption doesn't pay taxes and deters foreign investment. There is a solid empirical evidence that the higher the level of corruption in a country, the larger the share of its economic activity that will go underground beyond the reach of tax authorities. Right? People will hide from paying taxes because of how intense the corruption is. Now we see Andrew wants to hide from paying tax to, you know. With them shell companies, you know. See, Andrew wants to hide. So everything we see, so not surprisingly, studies have shown that corruption also undermines foreign direct investment, since it acts in a ways that are indistinguishable from a tax. Other things being equal, investors will always prefer to establish themselves in a less corrupt countries. When you hear that, people? So you see the ripple effect what Andrew Wallace is doing with us. So if investors outside want to invest in a country and want to find out if the country is corrupt, all what that investors need to do is to look at the corruption index. And the corruption index, we say, listen me, run the L from Jamaica. Run from Jamaica. Jamaica is 44 on the corruption index. Right? Now, it stifles innovation and entrepreneurship. Corruption discourages private sector development and innovation and encourages inefficiency. Budding entrepreneurs with bright ideas will be intimidated by the bureaucratic obstacles. That's why Andrew wants to create all sort of bureaucracy, you know. When they give out, right, the relief aid, him create all sort of flaws, right, and him same one to talk about the bureaucracy, you know, and him same one create them, you know. He is the prime minister, you know, and he can remove them, you know. Now, when it comes to him, you understand, stealing money and certain project that he's investing in, right? Him use direct and emergency contract, just like with Daryl Vaz and the boss. But anything that will benefit the people, him use bureaucracy to hold it back. Financial costs and psychological burdens of starting new business ventures, and will either opt for taking their ideas to some other less corrupt country. Want to hear that, people? 5, corruption takes up time and resources. 6, it worsens economic equality. 7, corruption creates uncertainty. 8, diminishes trust of the state. 9, bribery and corruption lead to other forms of crime. And you know, the police, you understand, because through them are so fine, right? And them now get adequate pay. Them involved in the drugs. When you see big drug boss were going, when you see the entire sea tack after dismantled. Because of what Andrew Honest is doing with the country. Here it is. 9, because corruption breeds corruption, it tends soon enough to lead to the creation of mafias and organized criminal groups who use their financial power to infiltrate legal businesses, to intimidate, to create protection rackets, and a climate of fear and uncertainty. In states with weak institutions, the police may be overwhelmed, reducing the probability that criminals will be caught. But even it's so bad in Jamaica that the Jamaican police them involved, the entire sea tack being dismantled. Take that away. So when we look at these things, right, we have to be serious in terms of dismiss this Jamaica Labour Party government It is very, very crucial and very serious to our prosperity. What Andrew Holness is doing to us, it is cruel, it is vicious, it is egregious, right? Andrew Holness. All right, look, now tell me, Jamaican people, let me ask a question. I'm going to ask a question here. The people who, as it relates to the Integrity Commission investigators, let me ask a question. When you look on their character, right? Their outstanding character, judge and lawyers, right? I mean, distinguished gentlemen. Let me ask you, Jamaica, why would they plan to tell lie on Andrew Holness and try to bring down Andrew Holness? As a matter of fact, they have given Andrew Holness a lot of room. Remember what we are looking on, Jamaican people. That Andrew Holness statutory declaration for 2021 has not been certified. So look on the leverage in terms of what the Integrity Commission investigators had given him. So 2021, not been certified. 2022, not been certified. 2023, not been certified. 2024, not been certified. 2025, can't be certified. So then, what do we want to see? What do we want to see? The project as it relates to St. Thomas Urban Center, that big mama them a try to hide. The truth of the matter is that Auditor General, right, have been investigating these things, and Andrew Holness administration is blocking the Auditor General, you understand, to have a clarity, to have a full understanding of what is going on as it relates to expenditures. Andrew Holness is preventing that. Now, let me ask a question now. Jamaica, let me ask a question. If Andrew Holness was for transparency, checks and balance and accountability, and Andrew Holness, right? I mean, the government auditing team. Remember, in Jamaica, this is not an external audit institution, you know. This is the government audit institution. It is the government. And the Prime Minister is doing everything in his powers, right, to prevent the Auditor General, to give the Auditor General the information that the Auditor General required. So Jamaica, look at it. Look at it. The Prime Minister is telling Jamaica that, look, I am 100% corrupt. I did not sign the code of conduct because of these things. And to the fact that I did not sign the code of conduct, all that I had done was premeditated. Now, let us bring forward here today. My statutory declaration cannot be certified. I have more than $1 billion as it relates to assets, billions of dollars. But yet, Jamaica, I cannot explain them. That is what the Prime Minister is saying to you all. That is what the Prime Minister is saying to you all. The Prime Minister is saying, I care zero about you. And even though that you have gone through the worst as it relates to Hurricane Melissa, I don't care zero. I am going to tax you. I am going to tax you. You deserve to be taxed because deep down, you Jamaicans really don't love me and really achieve me of the election to be here. So me no say, you no love me, so me no care for you neither. Achieve me of the general election to be here, you know. And show me know this. And show my cabinet know this. The whole of you can F off. Uno ball, uno ball yet. Who they cry now, cry yet. I'ma make sure say me a widen the net. So you see anything was sweet or no, I go sour or no. So you see all of them little sweet drink they want to sweet, whether carbonated or non-carbonated, me say me a give to no. Because I'll never vote for me. But when me at the election, when where were you, Jamaica? When me have to go hard pan Paul Buchanan. When you defend me in the general election, if me never thief it, if me never ask Lucianta Savadia to do a thing for me, right? Me would get cooked. Me would get cooked. One would send me to prison. So me you know. Because right now, Lucian Savadia saved me. So you are going. Uno no come ask me for no pity. Uno no come ask me for no mercy. I say somehow what I run off in the mouth. Uno believe say uno get no construction. Uno believe say uno get no concrete building. Me not go no concrete building, you know. See God them not go no concrete building. People like I uno deserve container. A container uno forget. Can uno never vote for me. A thief, me have to thief it, forget it, you know. So why not cry about? Why not cry about? We try to know when there. Eh? Me have to pay people. You understand? If you don't show up at the polling station, me have to pay the police them for exit and not provide no security. Me have to pay police to take the ballot box. Me have to trick the system which part the ballot supposed to traverse. Me have to pay to change the route of that. So then why not come cry for now? What do you want from me? You didn't help me when you want help. You don't vote for me. You don't vote for me. I thief this for their sign up. So I don't want, listen to me. I don't want nobody come talk about where blah blah blah. All I they shut up in the mouth. Me name the contact. I am not going to contact the relevant authority. If you ask them if me for real, yo, may I give it to you. May I give it to you. And you cause me to lose 14 of my seat. Look what you do to me. Look what you do to me. Eh? Me have 49. But I could have run off my thing and control my thing. And I could have passed anything when I want to pass. Look what you do to me. And now they ask me if you're sorry for you. Eh? When we have 49, look what you do to me. You bring me down to scrabbles to 35. And lift up the PNP from 14 to 28. Why not go back to the PNP then? I mean, I can come back to. Eh? After you increase the PNP from 14 to 28. Someone now can come look to me for. Look to me for what? Me not do nothing for you, you know. I'm not talking about stimulating economy. Stimulate economy. You understand? By triggered NHT. You understand? As a matter of fact, mash down NHT, you know. You think me around? Eh? I mash up Michael Manley plan. Michael Manley love you too much. Michael Manley love you too much. But me, they destroy this. 11.4 billion out of that every year. How many are ramping it? Because I make sure so me render it unfit. Me incapacitate it. Me make sure so when me done with it, it cannot have the capacity to offer low income earner for help on who want to vote me out. And me who don't want to vote out. Man a dandapa, a badness me I use, government badness. Me no vote for me a thief this. I'm gonna ramp with it. You understand what I say? Some don't want to call upon me, so I make sure some flatline NHT. You know, some a ton NHT in handicap. But look, you know, some a ton NHT in handicap. But you know want construction. You understand? Economy to stimulate. And me for build concrete home come give you with hurricane strap. And make sure say, you understand? We do everything solid. You understand? To make sure say the next hurricane on safe and secure. Uno. What go against me? Uno say I'm going in no love. Uno say I'm going in no love. But guess what? And the devil me serving. And through me serve the devil, me the punish you know. Punish me and punish you. So now, Jamaica, when I look at it, Jamaica, we could get to reality and ask the question. And then we bring in melting pot. Jamaican had just gone through the viciousness of Melissa and upon the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. The Prime Minister who claimed that he's doing everything to ease the burden on the poor. You know what? Make it tax. Put tax on the sugar. So anything sweet, they have to pay for it. This is how me love them. Let me heal back and bring in melting pot. Pot, step up.
Yeah, man. I like how you beat, brother. Beat it, me I tell you, But anyhow, first of all, let me go back on the sugar tax. Yeah, 10.1 billion. You might get half of that. Second largest, only behind NHD 11.4. Yeah, so the sugar thing well taxed. Yeah, I make a drop in this now. Remember, I know at the post we ever see Inclef EOJ office, So I drop the part there and the part where I'm happy use them thing that keep himself intact as the Prime Minister, the Lie Minister, and the Crime Minister. Cause you know that yeah. So but everything where you say a reality, and you not go build no concrete structures where you say because where you say people them love Mark Holding. Yeah, but Andrew Holness now I go and tell you why I don't want to build none. Him go when the next hurricane come and get another 150 million cat ban.
I don't like melting pot. I don't like
more criff. And him want another 6.7 or 6.9 billion US. And you got careful, Yeah, and you coming like the people when you hear Jai talk about down at KSMAC. They don't have full them got them crap. Understand? But this is what we have been saying to the Jamaican electorate all along. Many episodes we do together on the show. We try to point out to the people and say, this guy is an antidote, And is an antidote of poison, There's several type of poison Jamaican people, Yeah, man. Because we know it's a reverse psychologist artist. When 2016 election, when my campaign 2015, him use a remarks. Yeah, so the PMP come and trick you, tell a lie and throw poison upon you. Well, Jamaican people, we know Andrew like to say things back here. Andrew did not tell us say I throw poison. Come here, read out the antidote them when I look no way. My antidote name I-tax. My antidote name no house. My antidote said no distribution of relief goods were coming to the island. Yeah. Keep them away from Andrew goods that come for him. So what Andrew going to do now, let's make sure no suffer under the antidote where my release right now. And many more to come. Yeah, so now have to prepare to push back for Andrew antidote. Yeah. When a man can't look on the little baby them and say them can't play with tie gun, that is another antidote. When a government introduce caressing bigger buckle with your tongue, that is another antidote. I'm a calica the poison. Fog light when your car wait make and come with a Jamaica. Where them take the stamp duty to clear the car with the same mechanism on it. And not like people go modify it. That is another antidote for andro poison. The car seat, them was 1 to 12-year-old as several antidote for poison. They might use for the society. But the biggest antidote for poison is robbing the taxpayers blind. And then turn around and go and look a sweetie. And telling us, say, you never know what sweet you know go bitter on the belly. That bitter to taxpayers right now. See all the big enterprise, them a come out now and I make them vice we heard. President of the Jamaica, association of what? Them come out. See her there? She have to come out. She have to come out and say no consultation. Like a beg Nancy and Joelness. Demonstrating no uncertain manner to Andrew when it said need consultation. Because you can't come damage my manufacturing sector like that, I am a manufacturer of sweet liquid contents. Yeah? And you just come drive up my thing, so you want to collect 10.1 billion from the consumer. Then the people are going to have alternatives, so I'm going to tell the people what should be the alternative now. You see, when a man rise up against you, you have to find a way to defeat him. And you want 10.1 billion of a sweet content. Just make sure you start use somehow the home remedy. Water, squeeze orange juice, orange in it. Just get a flavor. Squeeze lime in it, get a flavor. Allow him think for 6 months, him drop on him face. Because the PSO J, them are going to run to him, and make him know say he need to lift up. Enough is enough. At them, him no want to hear from, but at them, who to force on him to go counteract him. Him not going to listen to the little ghetto people voice. Him just said, sure, scan regard to them, that them are idiot. Whereas when the pure soldier, them going and pressure him, and if him feel like say want tough up himself on them, man, lift up, because the whole of them are get rid of him, because remember him a damage them business, 6 months put a boy cut in. You have some sour orange in a Jamaica, but them nice to make beverage. Just get your water, cut 2 of them and squeeze night, and see if you don't have drink on your table. Backlit and go to youth them to go to school. Yeah? Lime, just squeeze the quick tonight, and see if it have a nice flavor. And lemon, And love Andrew and them thing. You understand? Because Andrew that demon, and that serpent, we unleash from Jamaican taxpayers, Unleash himself on the voters them as well. You understand? Because him take the vote of them, Be him slave. Come vote for me on election day. Campaign with me through the campaign process. Remember after that, rat bag we not get. I remember anything where rat bag, where rat trouble, come infested. Yeah? So the rat bag where am I going, it's infested with corruption. This is why Jamaica cannot grow, because wherever you have corruption, the stagnated economy you have. So we know why Jamaica can't grow a long time. We know the widespread corruption has, damaged the growth of Jamaica. Yeah, we know these people are preserving Jamaica as a corrupted even for themselves, because they benefit from stealing. So they will live good, while the mass of the people live on poverty line now or below poverty line. Gone are the days when Jamaica had a middle class. The middle class has come down to, have a ceremony and greet the poor already down there already. That are going under Andrew administration. So the people when you see a benefit and I live above the poverty line. I like the big nasty thinking big mama, the Draws Davis, them, the Emily Shield, them. Them type of people where have the Argy Swell, they're them type of people. Yeah, them a benefit. Yeah, they are benefiting, Keith Duncan and the whole of them a benefit. You understand? Them the people I make limelight out of Jamaica. The woman from Stuart Auto Supply with the FSC. She a benefit. She's benefiting. And all the politicians them from over inside, them a benefit. Because remember, one decade worth of criminality, them carry out, and none no get arrested and charged yet. One of them there in front of the court, real read. Yeah? And in spite of the fact that him out of a job for the longest while, him a get kickback money same way. Because Andrew have a pay him to keep him out, Because I remember saying was Andrew Hollis advisor in the Ministry of Education back then. Him know a lot of things what Andrew do. So Andrew look after him people by paying them to keep them mouth shut. This is why Royal Reid was offered the opportunity to still campaign alongside Andrew Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party and telling reporter I never gone anywhere. You haven't seen me. Yeah, he was up and about, still working behind the scene. Him said, no time out. Saying when I get money, same way. But him steal 55 million from the Ministry of Education. And not because him want to do it, or because him see Andrew do it before. And him learn the loophole. Yeah, and then now it bring a sentiment now between him and Andrew. Him a keep secret for Andrew. Andrew have to protect him, look after him. The same thing when you see with Patrick Daly, him have secret for Andrew. So him can't kill people and just live easy. You understand? And we have many more of these things in Jamaica. So even I have to make a little draw comparison with the police them survival. Not all of them rich, Not all of them. Some of them are suffer, but them they are the good one. It's the corrupted one, the Andrew one, them rich guy them sell cocaine. The good one, them a talk about it hard and I say it don't look good. Don't look good for the force. When we have a commissioner, we $8 million Jamaican watch. Man, him squad Rolex. Commissioner tell the Jamaican people, oh, you come buy a $8 million Rolex watch. You need to tell the people, Because you come out and say nothing, And remember, if you even stop where the people know say you have it. Because you were seen in it before. Yeah? So not true we come out and talk now you have a hide. Yeah, you squad them away $8 million watch. Yeah, you're the commissioner. But we know that go. But that just show the type of security where I run Jamaica non-existent. Because when you can have the commissioner mix up in a bangarang that's him get watching as a ward for good service, Bad. And him squadded them. Remember, police now have backgun for 100 cocaine, over cocaine, And that's something where them supposed to, confiscate out of society. Destroy it or show the process of how them get it out of the society. The gun them will come in, the guy them have it as sell. So most of the police force them wealthy. And just the good one them are stuck and them going to the force. Them now make no. Them now see no airway, because no sun now shine for them. Young one them good man. Yeah, so them one the Andrew now have to give them a razor pay. Them man they make money from traffic. Them they make money through contraband. Them alright with just being a policeman. And you do them, they have to pay them. That is why you see they did not back Ron James. Most of them swing and gone over there, so. Because just like the judge them now, but Andrew give them razor pay. They think none of them want to sink Andrew. None of them don't really want to sink Andrew. Andrew lift them up in a salary package. Yeah, so Andrew control the thing using a mechanism. Yeah, where him come out, come tell me, say, him not play draft, him play chess. When him come leak on himself for there. Him just paint a scenario there where him tell me, say, you have to pay to get round the toll, So Andrew pay to get round the corruption. Because so him operate, that guy will tell the truth, but you have to know how to find the truth. And him use reverse psychology and him use some terminology phrase. And you have to dissect it and say, then where am I go with that? That cannot be equal to this. So when Andrew tell you, say, you pay to get around the toll. I tell you, say, pay to get around the corruption where I do. Enough people are benefit from the Labour government. Them blackers, them are benefit. several thousand them getting at whichever state them there in the world. Them get them currency in 1,000 every month. You understand? And them come chat garbage to protect him. Cause I'm like to do have people who do deflection. Cause I'm good enough. Remember this guy sit down on several billions of Jamaican dollars, you know. Yeah. I mean I talk about in an asset, you know. I talk about liquid cash. The asset them we gonna know a few. Several asset them guy you have. So me tell you in a long time, so this guy is a super billionaire in a CARICOM. You think him have anything else to do with CARICOM?
I noticed that's right.
Him not have nothing else to do with CARICOM, you know. I'm not a leader for CARICOM. I'm a leader for CARICOM in general term. Because remember this Eric Washi guy where we have said my prime minister and I sell out CARICOM to United States. He must sell CARICOM to United States. Because I'm well compromised by the things we do. The guy touched the SWIFT system, you know, with several thousand United States dollars coming from an unregulated entity. Him cannot escape the wrath. So we have to do give away sovereignty, bow to United States and Rubio. And we know for them style where them a work. Because them a work it all over the world. The Jamaica become a victim because of this guy what we have. You understand? Right now we don't know what we have in Jamaica, you know. We don't. Because you check the two status of Jamaica and everything good in American hands. You understand? That's why I get so much protection from them, you know. Yeah, because them should have come all the nastiness out of the country long time. Because we know them can't do it. Them have the mechanism and the human resource to come all this piece of garbage and several more and conglomerate them. Like James Robertson. Yeah. Like Dr. Crab. Like Pumvaz. Remember them man, the United States catch them in the act, you know. But yet still they are allowed to remain free. Why? Because the CIA affiliation. The Jamaica Labour Party belongs to the CIA of America. And so, what you will do, you know, like some parents, you know, you pick your teeth, young whisper behind the scene. You know, punish the child with a crime. You understand? What you do now? You aid and abet. So United States are aid and abet Andrew Holness with a lot of criminality. Because Andrew Holness has been trading Jamaican to them. And in time to come, my Jamaican people will all realize when me and Mystic are telling a long time, a reality. We don't know what we have as a sovereign nation, you know. Based on this guy action and the fact that we say United States have him in all powder room and powder him. And I lotion this piece of shit. You know say something going on there in the scene. No 2 ways about it. Yeah. Look on a little island like Jamaica. The army is a wash-up army compared to United States. And you that they are wait for a guy to please themselves. If you know so them commit a crime that really hurt your business. You are the mighty USA, but you just sit down and powder this guy in a powder room. And then you send Rubio come down, come lotion him. You know, say Andrew get TLC from United States, man. Tender love and care. This has to stop. Jamaican people rise up to the cause, man. I wanna feel the pinch, you know. I wanna feel the pinch of the tax burden. This is why the mothers then decide to them now no pick the car, them can't buy a thing in family for the baby. And I like back in the days of Michael man the time, where you can't go buy your cow and get your Laxogen and the SMA milk cereal formula for your picnic. You buy rice cereal, put with it as well. When them get ready now to start, get a heavier liquid substance. Yeah? Me could have do it when me there at Jamaica get me youth them. Me never have no problem. You go buy milk and cereal. Yeah? And nipple buckle change regular. But under the current system, women have to run away from fertility birth because the system does not give them the quality life to have no more picnic. On top of it, Andrew kill out the pick them. So the money where you have set aside now, say, bring another youth or two youth. You have to bury one with it. How many mothers have to find huge amount of money to bury them picnic where Andrew government kill? So you have to have more picnic. You can't go through the trauma again, so you rather have no more picnic. Some young mother will come and see the mother them a ball for them son and them daughter. Them say them don't want to go through them trauma there. Them rather stay single without a child beside them. So everything bad under this administration. And we might attack things and it sound funny, but it's truth, a reality. Me in a Jamaica now, me go want a picnic. I get picnic. I rather picnic. No, sir. The Andrew government kill it out. You mad? Remember, I know. You pick them and missing. Just missing and gone, but we have something on that are coming up. We have to do something on them pick we miss no long. We know where them gone. Now say not more. So them are missing. Yeah? And them are get gunned down by the state. People have them picked away from them left and go to school, them not see them back again. And me can't tell you no say them not alive. Me can't tell you no for a fact say they are not alive. But we now go hear further along the line what I'm doing to pick to them. Yeah, because I need to do some more connection to that score number to find out the real figure as it relates to missing children in Jamaica that has never been found or seen. Nowhere I heard about. Yeah, coming like a little child from the UK, Madeline McGann. Yeah, I will know everything where that is concerned. But make we just focus on Jamaica now. Jamaican people, we have to rise up to Andrew Wallace and him garbage where I'm going with. This is a known criminal operating as a so-called prime minister, but melting pot not have him as a prime minister. Because, you know, when we do a research for Andrew, you know, from the time when him leave university and where acting and transpired, him leave university as a delinquent student. By 1972, yeah, the 22nd of July. But by the time at 25, I'm at 47 million, nothing can go so. So that alone tell us we have a criminal in front of a masquerade as prime minister. That's why I'm saying the prime minister material. This guy cannot be certified from 1998, you know. You get about when them just realize we have a boy and just draw it up in the 20s. And from 98, him can't certify. I never tell them about the 47 million. So you have to certify. I remember I never will a shell company where I not tell them about. Them never know about the tax them till recently. So him have to certify. Eh? How him going to certify when he's been hiding and lying to the Integrity Commission? When him do not supplement, when him required to supplement to them, he's been hiding things so him can't certify. And just like how him can't certify, the wife cannot be certified as well. Because they are playing the same party politics with everybody in Jamaica. They are not true representative of Jamaican. They are merely there representing themselves and amassing wealth that will give them name holiness. Put it right on top of the pinnacle as the wealthiest household name in a Jamaica history. And we have to combat that because what happened to Andrew Wallace and Juliet Wallace is that when you arrest them and you investigate, you seize them assets. You seize them assets. Because Andrew do not buy the book, you know. So everything where Andrew do, it's done illegally. Remember, Andrew get planning permission and change that, you know. Change that to suit P1 configuration to maximize profit. That guy, me don't know what I'm doing, people. Juliet do the same thing. Want to keep the woman land up a lease flat. Right now, she have a new project, Brunswick Road, coming into Spanish Town, just beside the old Ascot Theatre. Yeah, people don't know where down to look on the past there. Sagicor have a plaza where them build up there. All them in a problem. Because them have a whole heap of apartment. Nobody no want them too expensive. Yeah? About 20% of them 100 apartment they sit down. Yeah? 80% sit down, 20% occupied. Too much mafia is going on in Jamaica. Because you can't have a country where it not have no backbone as it relates to economy, no growth now go on, but you keep building expensive apartments. You're taking away the money from NHT that's supposed to deliver house to poor people, affordable house at affordable cost. And then you have it asleep within a bed and it a wrap up with the Prime Minister now that it become a part of central government. Or you can have NHC becoming a part of central government. But every year this guy going and take 11.4 billion. And then come and that are people money, you know. That may have money in it, you know, we left. I mean, I get no tight, you know. So Andrew a thief from me. Because I take a cent out of my contribution and me work several places in Jamaica before me migrate. I mean, know me NHT contribution there. Yeah. Have I gotten any benefit? No, but this guy keeps taking my money. Because my money is there. So what we see Andrew do in a Jamaica, it's unscrupulous. It's criminal at its highest order. And people must call out this guy. People need to run him way after not. Hey, I'm telling you something, Jamaican people. A ramp, you know. That's why I'm just want to come out with this tribalistic youngster fear pound one another. I'm laugh after, you know, because no need to rise up on the government now. Rise up on the nastiness. Yeah? Him did it too long. I dictate terms and matters. A time for to move towards him and defeat him, dethrone him. If him not go by free will, him need to go by force will. Get him out. Get him out. You think him different from them leader where used to corrupt the people in Africa? Him not different. The only difference is that him light skin. That black piece of nasty shit that same way. Him the white man. That colored black man that destroy black people life. At the cause of black people. Blood, sweat, and tears. Black people go there hard for them one man and this guy just attack them out and rob them out, man. Eh? Tax them and rob them. What can go so? At time you have some sense towards the job of being a leader for the country. How can the country just come out of the back of Hurricane Melissa? The third largest, powerfulest earthquake ever to occur in human time. But you come out now, 4 months, and I impose this high tax threshold to the tune of 35 billion Jamaican dollars. And you increase your budget to 1.4 trillion Jamaican dollars.
Right.
And then you come now, you tax sweet beverage to the tune of 10.1 billion dollars.
Yes, brother. Somebody said they want to add something in terms of what you are saying. So let me just give our
yeah, man.
okay.
Yeah, man.
Yes, caller, you're on the line. Go ahead, Mystic Sensation.
Yes, good night, Mystic family. Good night, Melting Pot.
Bless you.
Greetings and blessings, sister.
And I agree with you because I've called on other programs and talking about the same thing with the NHT money. How can Andrew be taking people's money that is drawn out of their salary towards housing? Every year you're going to take 11 point something million dollars out of NHT, and that money is there to provide more housing for the people.
It's a savings,
and I can't understand why
money.
the people sit down like that and allowing it. That's your money.
Exactly.
They have apartments to the length and breadth of Jamaica, and they're not paying any taxes for those houses. And people cannot afford those houses that they are building. Apartments upon apartments, husband and wife, and many other members of his cabinet there in the parliament. People, get up, man. That's your money. Remember, if you want to go catch anywhere and capture anywhere, the same Andrew, I come bulldoze on the down and take one off. So why are you allowing Andrew Holness to take your NHT money and putting it back in the economy when Andrew and the minions thief the taxpayers' money? And I say it again, thief taxpayers' money and do what they want to do with it and enrich themselves while you remain poor. Look here, people people, you can take Andrew Holness to court.
Oh, yes.
Take him to court. Stop it. And also, the money that is drawn out for education taxes. Where is all that money going, Andrew Holness? Opposition, run out on that. Opposition on the education, run out on it. And the NHT, Minister on the opposition side, run out on that too. Stop it. Enough is enough. That cannot happen. Him say 5 more years. And when that 5 more years, that's the time they are looking to come out of governance. Them know them now go win the election after that. Unless him try to thief it like on thief this one. So you know NHT mash up for good melting pot.
Yeah, man.
NHT done. No more housing. Nobody now get no house. You see any housing scheme a bill?
Exactly.
You see my bill nothing across the length and breadth of Jamaica say apply? No. It's intentional to destroy NHT. And we must stop it. We have a legitimate right to file a lawsuit against him. For him to stop it. And whatever come out already, for put it back.
Sure.
You must put it back.
Exactly.
2 thief, man. Craving here 2 thief. Stop. Oh, God, man. After you do all of that and come raise up taxes for the people and raise like this. And, why? Andrew, stop take the people them for fool. And people stop allowing it now, man. What wrong with you now? I saw not to leave.
I don't know to.
You take the best of it. You take the best of it and not go to the what left, the leftovers. And the leftovers, Andrew are going, you know, don't see that.
That's no
Oh,
joke.
come on, man. People rise up. Rise up and demand better for yourselves and your children and your next generation. Thank you, Mr. Misty.
All right.
Thank
Blessings,
you.
blessings, blessings. Yes, Carla. You're on Mystic Sensation. Go ahead.
Mystic.
Yes, my brother.
Wow, God.
But there.
Yeah, man. Everything good?
Yes, man. You?
Hey, bless up. Hey, yeah, man. I'm a good man. Bless up, Lady Anne-Marie. Bless up, Melting Pot.
All right.
Bless over there. Yeah, man. Tuesday night. Yo, listen to me, people. Sorry, Mystic. Nothing. Yo, let me just continue real quick, man.
Do your thing.
Mine. Yo, people. You see the man taking the money. I want to go on yourself. You see man, yo. You see man, I'm mad enough. Yo, I want to go on yourself.
You see it?
What on there? Listen, the man that take the NHT money out, money for money mode.
Yeah.
So you for take that money that I give to certain people, brother. Yo, something is going there, sign up. Yo, Michael Leachin. Something going, somebody control somebody and somebody don't want to be controlled no more. Because if that come to light right now, it will get exposed, you know.
Yes.
I love how you run the show still, you know what I say? I love how you run the show, brother.
Love it.
Right now. Brother, we're locking right now.
All right.
So Jamaican people, we just want to make it know, say, yo, the man take on the NHT money. The man take on the money, on the pay for. I want to go on that so. The man take on the money, brother. Yo, that money is enough for touching a mistake. Enough for touch that money, you know.
But remember saying, I know tax, you know, are the people them contribution, you know, so you know if you touch. Remember he spoke with Dean Jackson Miller. You understand? And say it's supposed to be ring fence, you know. You understand? And him going to ensure like him same one. They do this, you know. And that's why the people need to get together with the action lawsuit and lick him with the action lawsuit because of the people have money. This is not tax money. These are savings. These are savings. It is not tax dollars. It is people contribution. You can't just go in a people contribution and take out the money. You understand? Without getting permission from them.
God. But they don't realize how much power this man have. What's going on here?
Man is a criminal. Powers. Man is a criminal, man.
Fuck. What the excuse me, what the yo, Mystic. Is this man a god? What's going on here?
Jamaican people them sit down and take it.
Control?
The Jamaican people them sit down and take it, my brother. Jamaican people them sit down and take it.
Mystic, oh gosh, man. Oh gosh, I'm sorry for saying this. Mystic, them dogs, brother. They don't understand. Brother, but they don't want to batch you, my talkie, because I don't want to talk too loud, brother.
All right.
See, me follow it from far, you know. Me can see it from far, the man, them dogs, brother. Brother, listen to me. Me don't know it for the music, with the people that I listen to. And this and that and shit, that. But listen to me. Let me tell you something. Listen, I'm 40 years old. I know. Listen to me. The kids are the future. It's over.
Yeah.
These guys that's focusing on certain things, it's over. We need to focus on our children and our grandchildren.
Exactly.
Them not gonna have nothing if this prime minister is in control. That the man that try. Like, all right. Earlier, me hear something.
Government badness in my use, man. Government badness.
Government madness. But listen, how you gonna milk the cow? Them say earlier, I know. Them say earlier upon Colin Bell's program, how you gonna milk the cow? And the cow not gonna milk. The cow are gonna go dry, brother. The people, them shrink the economy, brother. Them shrink it.
Exactly.
Do you understand what this means? He has no option but to add taxes to you, bro. He ain't got no option, bro. Because you're not working, you're not doing anything. So he needs to produce for certain things to go higher. But it's only to his own detriment because he stole so much money. You don't understand.
Well, that's the problem.
The reason why he's doing this because he stole.
That's the problem.
So much money.
That's the problem. All right, now I'll give you another minute for us to wrap up because I have to make melting pot finish. You understand? Because all right, blessings. All right, pot.
You don't know. We love when you call in, you know. I mean, hear some more people that go on behind the scenes. So if you have any call out ready to come shoot, you know, make them shoot them shots, Sir Byron.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
See if I can right.
Why people them participate, man, at the forum of discussion, man. Kind bad brother. Why you the people them side of the story to how them feel about it too. Cause we are tell them long time. This guy are garbage in our place. If you come out, man, the boy if you leave out, lift up and go Rockers Island, go spend the rest of them time. Jamaica need to get back the asset with the wholeness them thief, you know. No two ways about that.
Blessings. All right, Mystic Sensation reach out to you. Turn off the device in the background.
Yeah, man, I'm not listening to that thing. Melting pot, show down all the thing a while ago, ever say. The apartment, the normal bill, 80% of them unoccupied, man, I tell you.
Yes.
You live in a Jamaica, I'm see it, I'm go road, and them bill fast, you know. And Jamaican people, them have no flavor. The other day, Prime Minister talk about him, not like the optics of Jamaica, beggy when people don't look at it there.
Yeah.
And him now look on the reality, say, a poor people, them poor, them need, you know?
Yeah.
This brother, them just a read for themselves, be.
Man,
correct. I said, the Jamaican people, them docile, very, very docile. Them not stand up and none of them now go around, but them poor be. Poverty upon the land, big time.
No two way about that.
Around Jamaica, see it and know it and think. People them can't afford them in an apartment there. And man coming at NHT and I grab and don't build nothing. Nothing for the poor people, the poorer people them. Nothing no bill. You know, the STEM school them give money feed. I want to them money there. Him now build a school.
None. Not one, my brother.
Over 10 years now. And not even a school, man, bill.
And yet money allocated for the STEM school, you know. Money allocated for the STEM school, you know, with the money there. Right?
And Jamaica people,
Oh, this is crazy, my brother.
Opposition, and I said opposition now, all are out on them as strong as them should be. I even know that them shall clamp down them neck. You know, they don't argue with about look at tax side and stuff. Them try to look for them and say, no man, go back with that man. Cause it's not ready for people them yet. And the people don't want to take it. People can't buy food, you know. People can't buy food. Banana not even sell me. Because what? From the hurricane, them said hurricane blew out the banana, them come with the banana, the banana sell all banana for $500 a dozen. People don't just stop by. You don't see nothing. People are so far.
Yo, the thing wicked, man. And in all of that, the man double down the wickedness in that. Fling on the tax for the people, you know.
No, I am looking at it now, like bloggers like you and Andrew Stevens and, you know, you mind all of it. You guys must, you control a cluster of people. Everyone I want to control like a cluster of people. But for top, man, all I want to set up a date and tell Jamaicans, say, at a date you will go pan for them on street. All I want to get up together and say, well, I will tell the people them that. And I did that. I'm ready for go out there, you know. Believe me, every day I'm ready for go out there. Because it can't go on so. It cannot.
You're right, my brother.
Free for all.
You're right.
I'm ready for build casino. But casino, shed more property upon people. Guess what? Them have mini casino here at Jamaica already. You know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Right? And people addicted to it, you know. If you know your pastor, you're going at that same set of people, I mean, like daily. Them addicted people and that. You understand? And they're going to build bigger one now to take in more and damage the people, them mentality, you know, them now building a school. You know, only them will get big money, you know, them want to get big money in Jamaica, you know.
Crony capitalism, my brother. Crony capitalism.
Them want to get the big money in Jamaica, you know. And
Yeah.
the government get the big money in Jamaica. Not the poor people, them. No, nobody now work no money in Jamaica for living. Now tell you, boy.
I'm not telling.
We need to step up and say, you bloggers can get together with each other and say, listen, what's that data for Jamaicans for come out now, you publish it by your channel, and next man publish it by them channel, and next man publish it by them channel. I mean, people them walk out, people them, we need something, man. We can't just sit down, so.
Well.
Jamaican people them want some boom specialists, them. They must get up a man time, drink a both, and forget about it. As I say, here melting pot say, 80% of them think they will them bill. Now sell them stagnant on them stagnant.
Yeah, man, it is true, man. It is true.
Stagnant on them now move with it. The product now move.
Well, you see, all of them building what them are doing on a billion oil. You have to understand, say, money laundering, you know. You understand? Shift the liquid to fix asset. That's what they are doing. Shifting the liquid asset to fix asset. Money laundering, that's how they wash money. Pure washing I go on.
Tell them that money laundering already, mama. Don't tell them some money laundering, you know.
All right.
So, money laundering, all right?
All right, my brother.
Yes,
Blessings.
You got yourself,
all right, blessings. All right, because we still have a big 4 layers of a run. You understand? All right. Yes, melting pot. Finish up. Let me just run a program now.
Well, you know, in saying this, you know, I have to just admire how much now people have, you know, see the vision as to what Jamaica really need. Change, you know, demonstration, as what the caller just said. Yeah, and lawsuit, as what the previous caller said, as it relates to Andrew having NHT as part of central government. That need a lawsuit. And Andrew need to put back the money because Andrew take the money and use them for development. him and Juliet police and him conglomerate them. Yeah. That 11.4 billion where them a take a year time, them a go around the place with it, you know. I do some development where you don't know about. The oldness them almost below the whole of Jamaica 14 parish. Them have stuff in every parish basically. Yeah. Call in a Walton Park Road region, you know. Yeah, them come down with them some house down there. Hear about them house a long time. I remember. And a labor right place, you know. And a labor right place. That's how bright and pugnacious size 13 is. That she come in a labor in a PMP stronghold and build house to entice PMP supporters. Yeah. But that now go work size 13. Yeah, because now criminal and everybody know that and we're done with the criminality thing. Jamaica can't take no more of the criminality activity. But a day-to-day basis, when we're going on a respective office and work assiduously for the people. When they're all over Jamaica I carry out in the construction development. Yeah, I want to look at inch people around and I bypass the real procurement guidelines and I do some direct contract. Yeah, and some emergency thing. Yeah, when we have the right measures, we're supposed to vet every form of money we involve taxpayers' money. Yeah? As it relates to where government are doing it. We have played the permanent secretary them already. To my Jamaican people, the time is now. It's here. Right now that we need to move towards the government in solving the problem in Jamaica. Lawsuit him for the NHT money. Yeah? Make sure no lawsuit him. I want to come out now no thousands, now no millions come demonstrate. I yield back the floor to you, my brother.
All right, blessings on that melting pot. Now we are going to show Jamaica, right, as it relates to the extreme cruelty. You know, I spoke some things earlier, right, and this is not a joke in terms of the delivery, because everything I spoke, right, is definitely being observed, right, as factual. Now, I'm going to show you another thing in terms of the level of cruelty. Cruelty beyond cruelty. 100% pure evil. So when you look on a man like Christopher Tufton, right, who had came out and tell every Jamaican on his political platform during his campaign, lick him chest, said there is no other administration in the history of our political life. No other administration had spent the amount of money that Andrew Holness administration had spent. Christopher Tufton bragged that Andrew Holness administration advanced the healthcare budget from $60 billion to $154 billion. I see that the amount of damage that Christopher Tufton had done. And Andrew Holness look on Christopher Tufton and gave him a award. What that tell you, say Jamaica? The man that damaged healthcare, Andrew Holness awarded him. What does that tell you? Now watch this now, Jamaica. We have medical waste. I'm going to show you how dangerous this is. Day before yesterday, right? Medical waste concern trigger again in Jamaica. Right? Triggered again in Jamaica. You know, from when we have a medical waste problem? You think it is from 2025, 2024, 2023? Jamaica, I'm going to show you something. Play this document and hear how Christopher Tufton is speaking that we are doing very well. Listen here, Jamaica. Look at this. Something I shown you, the evil, the 100% pure evil with them people here. Undermine the Jamaican society. They suffer them deliberately. Deliberately. Now watch this. We are doing very well. February 3rd, 2022. Christopher Tufton. We are doing very well. Watch this. Health Ministry official says Jamaica managing additional medical waste, right, as who raises COVID environmental concern. Senior official in Jamaica Health and Wellness Ministry is assuring that the country has no worries at this time. However, its capacity to handle the additional loads of medical waste resulting from its response to the novel coronavirus pandemic. We are doing very well, and we will be doing much better once we are able to increase the capacity of our treatment, which we are actively now pursuing, according to Richard Baker, the Ministry Director of Medical Solid Waste Management, told the Jamaica Observer against the background of global health and environment red flags raised by the World Health Organization. The WHO says tens of thousands of tons of extra medical waste from the response to the COVID-19 has put significant strain on healthcare waste management system globally. In a report released on Tuesday, the WHO, which is the World Health Organization, said the additional tonnage of medical waste now threatens human and environmental health, and that there is dire need to improve waste management practices. Well, I'll take it away, because from COVID-19, we have a problem here. From COVID-19, we have a problem here. Now, broad forward. Watch this now, people. Look at this. Look at this. Broad forward. 2 months ago. This is 2 months ago, you know, people. I'll show you something. 2 months ago. Watch this.
Concerns are mounting following the pileup of medical waste at 2 major public health institutions.
Now, last week, a whistleblower provided our newsroom with the details of the uncollected waste at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital. Now, more complaints from another hospital.
Nakinski Robinson has this primetime news follow-up.
From the Victoria Jubilee Hospital in Kingston to the Spanish Town Hospital in St. Catherine, medical waste is piling up.
So unfortunate for an institution of such who has the responsibility to treat with public health. Public health. It's gross dereliction of duty, and it cannot and should not continue to happen. So I'm asking you, without further delay, to serve the necessary notice, because it has been there for weeks.
The concern was raised at the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation meeting Thursday. Deputy Public Health Inspector Denise Douglas says the health department is aware of the situation. However, she fell short on how soon the waste would have been removed.
There is, in fact, a pileup of medical waste on the compound of the department. We have seen it, and we have taken action. There, however, from my understanding, there is a problem with the medical waste disposal facility in Kingston.
Medical waste includes items used to test or treat patients, such as bandages, gloves, swabs, and sharp implements like needles or scalpels. The waste is not dumped at any landfill, but is taken to a specialized facility. Opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, warned of the dangers of uncollected or exposed medical waste.
You may have leakage of these bodily fluids. When rain falls, it may soak through and contaminate the gutters and the surrounding areas. And you may have rodents that may infest, and especially an urban area, getting into the medical waste. Dogs, cats, rats can all carry leptospirosis as well as other harmful diseases.
At the Victoria Jubilee Hospital, staff who didn't want to speak on camera say there is a real fear of the pileup. At the Spanish Town Hospital, the waste is stored at the neighbouring St. Jago Health Centre. Although tucked away, staff there say the bags are attracting rodents. Residents from communities like Rivoli and Jones Avenue say the stench during the day is becoming unbearable. TVJ News reached out to the CEO of the Spanish Town Hospital, but we did not receive a response. We reached out to the Southeast Regional Health Authority's Regional Director Lascelles Brown, who directed us to the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Permanent Secretary Errol Green directed us back to Sarah. TVJ News reached out to the Health Minister, Dr. Christopher Tufton, who acknowledged the pileup. However, he was confident that the matter was resolved. Up to 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, the newsroom did not receive a response from the Minister nor Permanent Secretary on the reason for the pileup and how soon the medical waste would be removed. Nakinski Robinson, TVJ News.
Well, look here now, people. To show you, right, that they care nothing, zero, about Jamaican people.
Let me ask Christopher Tufton one question. Christopher Tufton, where are the incinerators that the hospitals used to have that would deal with these wastes? Where are the hospital incinerators? What happened to them? Because we never had these problems back in the days when the incinerators were working, because a hospital would take care of its waste. So where are the incinerators? Back over to you.
Well, I am only showing you that under Pusha Simpson administration operating and utilizing a $60 billion budget, we don't have them something here, you know. But yet, under Andrew Holness administration, with more than 100% increase, where the healthcare budget moved from $60 billion to $140 billion. You have all of these things happening. And while you have all of these things happening, the Auditor General has said, right, look at that. You said you spend 145 billion, you increase the budget by, but I am telling you that over $800 billion unaccounted for. $800 billion unaccounted for. Now look on this next clip. Now 2 months. Look at this.
So that means all of
look at this.
Must have got to some private institution that they might benefit from.
Let's look at that.
2 months since our last story on the pileup of medical waste at the St. Jago Health Center in St. Catherine, TVJ News.
Medical waste concern at St. Jago Health Center.
Okay. No, sorry, this. Most honorable Andrew Holness. We are going to show you Jamaica. Sorry about that clip. We are duplicating it. Look at this.
The Labour Party is building a healthier Jamaica for us all. This means more doctors, more nurses, more hospital beds, more diagnostic equipment, and more health centers. This means more access to healthcare for all Jamaicans. It also means shorter waiting times, less medical bills, more smiles, and more lives saved. Join us in building a healthier nation. The Jamaica Labour Party, building for you and your community.
This election day, vote Jamaica.
Yo, Jamaica, I want to listen to this money, I know. Right? Now, Andrew Holness is saying to Jamaica people, this is the man who no deserve. This is the man who no deserve. Because he's doing what I want him to do. Even if you fling down the pressure upon him. Do you hear what the man said? Play it back again. Listen to what Christopher Tufton said. Listen to what Christopher Tufton said. This man totally
Jamaica Labour
Jamaican people
Party is building a healthier Jamaica for us all. This means more doctors, more nurses, more hospital beds, more diagnostic equipment, and more health centers. This means more access to healthcare for all Jamaicans. It also means shorter waiting times, less medical bills, more smiles, and more lives saved. Join us in building a healthier nation. The Jamaica Labour Party, building for you and your community.
This election day, vote Jamaica Labour Party.
The
Jamaica Labour Party, building for you and your community. Robbing, mashing up the healthcare. No CT, limited CT scan, limited MRI machine, limited dialysis machine, limited ultrasound machine, limited beds, hardly any medication, and short of monitors. Now, Jamaica, look at this. Look at this, Jamaica. Me I show you the crisis. But Andrew Holness, you understand? Pronouncing us. Why you hate you so much?
Significant turning point for local healthcare is underway as the Minister of Health announced major milestones in the ongoing restoration of Cornwall Regional Hospital. Along with the Western Child and Adolescent Hospital, the minister says help is on the way in the form of bed capacity and human resources. Crystal Williams tells us more.
The country's healthcare infrastructure is under mounting pressure, according to reports emerging from several major hospitals across the island. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says he understands the strain currently being borne by healthcare workers and has acknowledged the concerns outlined in reports he has received from public health facilities.
Well, it's particularly talked about because last week you saw a demonstration involving nurses, and I haven't commented a lot on it. But I identify with some of the concerns. We are all experiencing an exceptional period, actually never before in our history. So the challenges are big. The circumstances and the context that have created these challenges are also exceptional.
The minister says the overcrowding in the accident and emergency wards is a result of a lack of bed availability, as most of the wards are still under construction. He says provisions the ministry has made for bed space in the meantime.
By the third week or so of February.
So Christopher Tufton, let me ask you a question. May I stop you right there, sir? So you increase the healthcare budget from $60 billion to $145 billion. What you use the money and do? What did you use the money and do? The hospital still don't have no CTs, adequate CT scan. The hospital don't have adequate MRI machine. Don't have adequate dialysis machine. Don't have adequate ultrasound machine. Limited bed. So what did you do with the money? What did you do with the money? Jamaica, look on this. Let me go blue screen video. Look on this now, Jamaica. Wanna tell me? And on top of this, Andrew Holness gave him a word. Look on this wickedness at Jamaica. Look on this wickedness. Wanna look?
So yeah, guys, I took a trip to the Montego Bay Hospital, hoping that I wouldn't stay overnight, because this is the condition that the patients of Jamaica has to be sleeping in. And as you can see, persons have been there for days and days, and that is exactly where they live, on the ground, on the floor, on top of the chairs. You have rats, roaches, cockroaches, all kind of insects running around. So this is what we're...
No, Jamaica, you're going to tell me now that I not disrespect Andrew Honest and Christopher Tufton and disrespect the Jamaican people? Eh? This is outright disrespect. He allowed to escape the judgment. And why he allowed to escape the judgment? Because Andrew Honest is simply a criminal. Jamaica, what do you think I am showing you? Andrew Honest is simply a criminal. Him cannot speak to Tufton because most of the money rub up. They rub it up. They rub it up. It gone to their personal coffers. And put the Jamaican people in a dilemma. Jamaica, let me show you this. Let me explain to you something. I know $1 trillion unaccounted for now. Look where I'm going, Jamaica. I know $2 trillion unaccounted for now. $3 trillion as it relates to a year and a half ago. The Auditor General don't give us a recent update yet. So then let me ask a question. As it relates to the damage of Melissa, if corruption was so rampant and we have all of that money, would we need to borrow so much money from IMF to put us under a peril of debt? That would not happen. If we did have a mere motley like, if we did have Mark Bolin, if we did have Portia Simpson, if we did only have a PJ Patterson this time, do you think would suffer the consequence that we are suffering right now? Follow me, Jamaica. Under PJ Patterson, our healthcare, no way reach as it relates to this crisis. Under Portia Simpson led government, nowhere reach for this crisis. Under Andrew Honest administration. Now, I'm not pretty it up, you know. I'm not pretty it up. The man is a common thief. That's what he is. He's a criminal. Unless we recognize as a people that this man being at the helm and continue to be at the helm, it is going to be at our own peril. Our prosperity had gone behind us, not before us. Our prosperity had gone behind us. It is not before us. What are we going to tell our generation to come? What are we going to tell them? We didn't fight for them. We didn't call a spade a spade. And so then the generation to come, we left them to suffer. We can get up and march against this kleptocratic government. And let me tell Andrew Holness plain, I am going to be one of those advocates against you marching, encouraging people to march against you. And let me give you the reason, Andrew Holness, why you need to get out of the government. Nowhere in the Caribbean, never before, never, ever, ever before, we have a prime minister. Prime minister cannot have his statutory declaration certified going more than 4 years. That. And if, what Jamaican people don't know, the FID wouldn't have holding it over your head so long. The FID wouldn't have held it over your head so long. The FID would have come out and clear you. They would have come out and have you cleared. Because it looked bad as a prime minister. If the FID, right, have anything that they are looking on that could vindicate you, they would have done it. Big Mama would have gotten it. People must come to the realization. People must come use critical thinking. There is no way FID would have this over the Prime Minister facing another financial year for it to be another embarrassment to the Prime Minister that his statutory declaration cannot certified as it relates to his 2025 statutory declaration. They wouldn't have done it. It is bad. But FID, what they are looking on, people, they cannot vindicate the Prime Minister. That is effing bad. That is serious cause to concern is not to be there. His own anti-corruption body, Andrew Holness' own anti-corruption body is going against Andrew Holness. People, we can't make up this. It is the Andrew Holness administration that signed the Integrity Commission into law. And it is Andrew Holness anti-corruption body investigating Andrew Holness, holding him accountable, saying to the public that he must not be trusted. He is not an honest person. He doesn't have integrity. That is what the corruption body is saying to Andrew Holness. We can't make up this. We shouldn't allow this. We shouldn't allow this. Jamaica, what are we doing? We are hurting our generation to come. Jamaica, we are hurting them. If Jamaica stand together in solidarity, from once the PSOJ will hurt their profit line, they will have to get rid of him. Stand up, Jamaica. Stand up. Are you going to allow the word of Marcus Garvey to ring in your face? Marcus Garvey said, plenty of us will never know ourselves. And all when our backs are against the wall, we will never ever know ourselves. You know, say NNN turn bagawaya. You know, say a bagawaya sell out the people in a slavery. You know, say NNN is the house slave. You know, say NNN by any means necessary to protect the criminal. NNN is going to protect the criminal. And I yield back. Melting pot.
Yes, Sir Byron, and I mean, you knock it, you know. Now, we are where right now, all me have to come to just finish it up tonight. Because Andrew, when this corruption extend now outside of Jamaica, you know. Right now, me I go tell my Jamaican people this. Years gone by, when Michael Manley had the man with Jamaica, where we can honor him and recognize him as a prime minister. The man that has, you know, lifted up other third world country right around the world to prominence of knowledge as it relates to what they should demand from rich and conglomerate first world country. Yeah, Jamaica was looked upon, highly respected under the policy of Michael Manley that projects socialism in our space and time. Yeah. And so when we're looking at this space and time right now, the rest of Caribbean country them are look down upon Jamaica. If them leader visit Jamaica and him come back, them say them leader corrupted. Time visit corruption down in Jamaica. So I to be me and Madeline at St. Michael Barbados for there. Yeah. So that just go to show you how far the man thing gone, you know. The man spread right through the region now of CARICOM and extend beyond CARICOM boundaries to international countries, first world. Them know about Andrew. Yeah? And this is why earlier on me said Trump and have Andrew in a powder room. A powder him down. And when him get lotion, him send Rubio from lotion him down. I get TLC from United States. Only them I protect Andrew. Yeah? Because remember, you know, you see this casino thing where you see Trump I go out in Jamaica on the coastline. Yeah, American investment that. So America one piece of the holiday resort as it relates to Jamaica being a tourist destination. You see the same thing down at Gaza as Trump flatten Gaza. I mean know why Trump did have to flatten Gaza. Because Israel have a lot of secret from Trump relating to the Epstein file. So he may have to do everything within his powers to assist Israel to flatten Gaza. And what you see, them show you an AI demographic of what Gaza going to look like. And casino was the main subject matter. Yeah? So Trump want to go around the place when him find a compromise leader them. Yeah? And use them to him benefit. Yeah? Because the casino thing, the way you say Andrew and Trump are dealing with American piece of investment, that a piece of the way you call it now, payback with the corruption and to keep you out of prison. Andrew have to give them that. But make we look upon corruption as it relates to in a Jamaica and a whole. Yeah? Why did all these various entities allow Andrew Holness to manifest this corruption to the point now where, you know, it becomes so high them can't even climb it? The man thing stuck up from 1998, you know. It stuck up from 1998. Yeah? Them about saying to say when the ass gone through the bolt and gone through the gate, it hard for you catch it back, you have to wait till it shut it bolt. Yeah, it have to stop. So I don't know if for a long time we can get rid of Andrew Wallace, maybe a true sickness or natural cause. Yeah, because our major authorities them in Jamaica have been protecting this guy. From the DPP to the justice system, right down to the police, to the private sector, to people from within church, people from civil society, all the little group them like Jamaica for Justice, the whole of them fall victim under the corruption. All of them, the one man that's supposed to take Jamaica angle it so and ravish it. And him serve more than a decade carrying out this type of atrocity for the nation. The one man not supposed to do that. You don't allow one piece of shit house to rise up and cause this problem in our society. So something need to fix in our Jamaica. I think there's more than about 5,000 people in Jamaica want, get out of the country and put them on Rockers Island. What are the pure soldiers, them, them facilitate Andrew with this type of behavior. Them know about it. Police force, several of them, not all of them. I have real policemen when in an Andrew only slap this. Not believing that they know or the then commissioner them, because the anti commissioner them are garbage, them work for Andrew. Everybody know about that. They do not believe in the Minister of National Security, and they don't believe in the Andrew Holness administration. Yeah? But then we look on justice system now. We're supposed to preserve real status and the rights of the people in the country. They've been bought by Andrew Holness, increasing salary. All of them now batting for him, vicing for him. We look on the media circling at Jamaica, corrupt till it can't corrupt no more. We never know a radio station focus on one subject every day. And that is the Prime Minister, NNN. That's what it does. From morning, noon till night, it's Andrew Holness affairs. That can't be a radio station. That is a shit house. Yeah? So that we ban nobody not be participating in that. Because if you want the real truth and the facts, you cannot listen to NNN. Because a one-sided cutlass, chop one way, chop through the PMP, and protect the labor government led by Andrew Wallace. So we have to look on the real cause, the real issue behind Andrew Wallace corruption. That so many Jamaicans have bought into his philosophy of corruption and been richly rewarded for their participation. Yeah, until we can solve that problem, Jamaica will remain in the same predicament. Yeah? So when we are saying, oh, you solve that, that problem didn't exist before 1838. Yeah, that problem didn't exist before. But we have some well-taught individual. Yeah, them not educated enough. Them not gonna have heart. They can think. You understand? And them come up with strategy. And them defeat the British Empire in our country, Jamaica. The slave Macramasa. Yeah? The ruler and dictatorship of the British Empire. Them defeat that. I want to know them. They are national heroes now. They are people that should be treasured. So I'm saying to this current generation, if it calls for the same symbol of intervention, let us all get behind that movement. We can become heroes in modern time. Because Andrew Holness administration for going, it has done so much harm. It has not shown any care or any respect. Not just to the people, but to Jamaica as a land. When you look and see how much hospital waste pack up in so many bags, rising to fast height, stretching in long length, And you have a guy to come out, come tell us, say, them spend the most on health. Them increase the health budget from 60.15 billion to 140 billion. But what are we getting for that? Absolutely nothing. So Tough Tang must be held accountable. The garbage leader for the country must be held accountable. As a matter of fact, the whole entire cabinet must be held accountable. Must be. And one person in particular, the cabinet secretary, Audrey Swell, she must be held accountable. They are putting strain on the Auditor General them when they want to go in investigate. They always have stumbling block in them way. Now that just show you Jamaican people say all is not well. If you have to put up barricade to prevent people from coming in to do their work, it's simply saying to you that all is not well. And so we know for a fact now that for the last 10 years, yeah, Jamaica has been taken for a ride by the Andrew Willis administration. The man promised Jamaica people prosperity, you know. One prosperity we see him given as a donkey. But the name prosperity dead. You understand? When can't get the woman down to the country. The woman asks him to do something for the road. Yeah? Them could have get the woman because she have a car and her chicken feed and I want taxi. She say I come around her way the next time refuse because of the bad road. And you get her a donkey. And the woman named the donkey Prosperity because you never tell her what the donkey name. But Prosperity dead. So it even goes to show you say anything where Andrew put him hand pan, it cause destruction. Now that donkey that live a good life, you know. Wherever it was, you know, and from Andrew lead it and can't go get the woman. And get the name Prosperity dead. Because there's no prosperity under this Andrew Willis administration. Jamaican people are losing whatever momentum they gain from the People's National Party and to come and take it where when you have a government to go around and bulldoze down people's house, but I take them contribution and a farm central government budget. Where we ask the question, why is NHG now become a supplementary at the central government budget? Why? It is not government money, it's contributor savings. So you have to ask the question. So me know from a critical thinking aspect that Andrew use the money for him own benefit. Because I'm like so well then him stop tax altogether, you know. Motorists pay the most tax in Jamaica. Because motorists are paid for the corporate business them, like Big Mama and the rest them. And Andrew himself. We have so much company and make much hundreds of millions of dollars but file nil tax return. This is what you have in your country and call leader. It's a shit pit. This guy is no leader. A leader must lead by example. Michael man, they tell you. Yeah. And a leader must walk hand in hand with the people that him leading. And you let go no a long time. You know, they found a one. Yeah. So when you see him come on, they look good it back. That's a sham. That is something to rekindle on interest in the party so he can galvanize the vote. And remember, you know, he's an ill-disciplined leader because our People's Act law say you're not supposed to buy a vote, you're not supposed to bribe no voter, you're not supposed to do nothing with where money is concerned when it comes to election. Well, him break all of them protocol then. Him are the master to buy a vote, him and them party. Remember them? Yeah? So because the PMP them now do it now, what happen? The little people them keep voting him in. That have to stop. If you don't want to have any form of, you know, legacy we have to preserve for the generation to come. We don't have to change this now, right here and now. This needs to stop. Yeah? But it seems like we can't stop him, so we are waiting for Privy Council to stop him. Our Privy Council have all of them in fire upon him, you know, and the party, you know. And I think that's where I'm going to end up. Yeah? In the Privy Council, and that will be the end of this monster the Jamaican people create. And Jamaican people create this monster, you know. Cause this man always try to play a 3-card game with the people. Yeah? Show you the Queen and Bennett. And when and put it back on the thing and you think say yes man, I easy winning this. When you lay out your money and pick up that's not the Queen. That's not the Queen, him trick you once again. Well, my Jamaican people have found a time to defeat Andrew now, you know. Andrew reign too long. Found a time to defeat him. And I will back the floor to you, my brother.
Love that, love that, love that. Now, my Jamaican people, right, I think this is where we are going to wrap it up. So let me just ask Wifey to lead us out. Right, Wifey?
All right. So blessings, everyone. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Melting Pot, you just lick up, you just boil the bumps as them. So Melting Pot saying let go your hand long time. You're so right.
Yeah, man.
That's true.
Thank you guys for making it an interactive discussion. I was keeping up with the chat, so thank you so much. Really appreciate each and every one. And today's Tuesday, right? So tomorrow night, tune in with Mr. Rattigan, and with the other days, tune into all the other channels that are burning the fire as well. And remember, guys, to continue keeping those people.
And people remember,
your prayers.
Big up to Author for the Press, right? People go over, support Author for the Press. You know the thing said. All right, a real warrior queen. Make sure someone endorse Author for the Press. Blessings.
All right, so guys, have a wonderful and productive rest of the week until you see Baron again on Thursday, and then I will be with him Thursday, Friday evening and Friday morning, hopefully.
Sure.
All right, guys. So thank you so much. Safe travel on the gravel, and have
Melted Pot out. Blessings.
Blessings.
Yeah, we'll link tomorrow, Pot.
All right, yeah, my brother, do that.
Yeah. All right.
I know why you come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister around the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right start that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.